What's going on, motherfuckers? Welcome to the Crocs and Hot Pockets podcast. My name is Knackers, and today is November 10th, 2019, and this is episode number 110, also known as 110. Tonight is a free-for-all episode, and I am joined by two brand new handsome guests, and they go by the name of Howie and Wallytreats, or Wally Beats, or Wally Meats. Mr. Wally Meats. If you ever decide to get into that career, you officially have your name ready to go.
What is that career?
Meeting.
Oh, yeah, like a butcher.
Like you could either be a butcher or you could be a manager of a meatery.
Meatery.
Yeah. I was thinking like you could stand in front of like Meijer or something. Well, you don't have Meijer down there, so like Walmart and just greet people. You'd be the meter.
Greet them and give them raw meat samples on toothpicks. Like, here you go.
That's only chicken though. Only chicken.
Raw. Okay. I'm not trying to kill people.
Wait, you say that like you can't give somebody raw red meat and have them die? Or is there less of a chance if you eat raw red meat?
It was the way he said chicken. It just sounded like really like obviously offensive, like trying to like attack people with it.
Oh
like,
my God. Howie.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Anyways, Howie, what's going on with you, man? How you been?
I'm good, I guess. Just doing school stuff, and you know, you guys got money for a loan, by the way? Trying to get a loan?
I'll give you a line of credit, yeah.
If we can pay mine first, we can start paying yours after, but I don't want to like sign anything.
I'm in on that. I'm in on paying Knackers
pass.
first, and then we can reconsider if we pay Howie's.
Okay.
I like where this is.
I mean, sounds good to me.
Cross that bridge when we get there, yeah, for sure.
How long have you been going to school now?
Oh man,
Not
total?
including grade school, like Wally had to
I was gonna
highlight
say,
his seventh grade social studies.
Hey,
almost. I'd say. I think this is my fifth year in college.
Oh my
I
God.
messed up scheduling and stuff. So, but I went to community college, so easy savings right there.
Don't you get down on yourself. You said that with like a snide tone, like community college is below the other college, which is not better.
It's not. When it comes to saving money, that's the easiest thing to do. That is so.
This is true.
But it's like 4 semesters there is like 1 semester in my current school. So
STDs are so much cheaper when you go to community college. Oh, good. Wally, how you been, man?
I'm good. I've been good. You caught me like a breathe out right there.
On an hourly basis, they are way cheaper.
Dude, community college is honestly the 200 IQ play. You go to community college for like 3 years or like 2.5 years or so, get like your general shit out of the way, all the stuff they make you take, like pay cheap as fuck, and then go to an actual, and I hate that I just use that word because that's totally not how it should be perceived. But then go to a university that actually you want the degree written from, and just, you know, do your last year or two there, focus on your major, like,
finish up.
That's the play. That's the play.
Okay.
Or go to a trade school. That's just so underrated. Go to a fucking trade school. Okay, just there you go.
Are those still as common nowadays?
They're when I think of like a trade school, my immediate like thought is, you know, shit that is not exactly what people usually would think of. I'm thinking of like a coding boot camp and stuff like that.
Okay.
Or like those real estate type of things where they teach you literally just how to be like a realtor, like straight up get your realtor license, go out into the market and like start doing it. Not typical trade schools, what I like maybe most people think of like carpentry or like plumbing or electricians and stuff like that. That's not exactly what I meant.
Okay.
Those are also just as good, honestly.
I think
not better sometimes.
I think that's like one of the stigmas of trade school, like, because that's exactly what I thought when you said that, because that was such a common thing for like counselors to say, like, well, you know, looking at your grades, you know, trade school might be a great use of your future. I'm like, what the fuck is that supposed to mean, Karen?
Yeah. It always feels like a low-key like slight at you, like too, like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, maybe trade school, maybe like consider this other option. Like, I don't know.
Bitch.
I think something about like school counselors, they always have like this weird undertone where it's like, do you really know what like is best for me? I don't think you do, but it's nice to meet you, random lady that like I talk to once every 6 months.
Right. And then they're switched out every school year.
Yeah. So it's like I talk to you twice a year and you're like acting like you're like my second mom. Like, okay.
Bitch. Well, what I'd like to do is to go around the room super quick, have you guys announce your social media, where people can find you online, if you have that kind of thing. So Wally, you can go first, sir.
Sure. Whatever website or app it is, just Wallytreats. I'm on everything. Do I use everything? No. Twitter is definitely the best way to get a hold of me, or just like, get in touch. But Twitch also. But the rest of that, like, I'm on there. You can find me, Wallytreats, but don't expect too many responses.
Oh shit! I just realized I didn't put the new. Oh God! We need. Okay, so there's a link in chat that's supposed to have the links to everybody's social media, and I forgot to update it for this.
Mods, clear the chat, clear the whole entire chat
episode. Yeah, we're just gonna clear that.
We can start over.
All right. Howie, you go ahead, and I'm gonna try and fix this fucking calamity.
Okay, so I just had to go and count how many E's were at my on Twitter, and there's 10 E's at the end of Howie, and then there's an underscore.
And then on Twitch, there's how many?
There's 9 E's.
Oh my God.
Dude, I don't know who's out there taking my things. Someone's out there is fucking trolling me, dude, taking all the 9 E's accounts. I had to do it on Instagram too, but I changed my mind on that.
No, fuck. Wait, you actually had to use a different number of E's because somebody had already taken it before you?
Yeah.
Jesus Lord.
Someone's out there
that's
fucking trolling me, dude. I'll just keep adding E's. I don't care. I'll go up to whatever the limit is.
What? Have you always been Howie, or was there a day that you just went, "Hey," and then you decided to put it on the end of your usernames?
I had about 5 names before Howie on Xbox, and then we got my current dog, whose name is Howard. And so I was just like, I'm going to change my name to Howie on Xbox. And I just kept adding E's until eventually one was free, and it just so happened to be 9 E's. And then ever since then, I was just like, you want to know what, man? I'm sticking with it.
And it's just been like that ever since.
Yep.
Okay. Howie, what did you do as far as college? Did you go to university? Did you do community college? Did you just skip it altogether?
Me or Wally? I think you said me.
He said you. He was asking you.
Oh.
No,
are you asking me?
I swear to God, I said Wally.
Did you?
No,
I think I did.
I think you we both knew your intention was to ask me, but you definitely said Howie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay. You guys have way too similar sounding names, so it's now Meats. Wally, you are now Meats.
And they're both terrible.
So Wally, your college education, or just like kind of what you went through for college?
Yeah, sure. So I went to music business school for like the first 2 years, but when people say they went to school for something and they only went for 2 years, general credits, like nothing that was even relative to that major at all. So I went to what would be normal college for 2.5 years. Dropped out because I was like, I want to actually do something music related, and so dropped out, switched to doing music production, and then minoring in audio engineering. Was really, really bad at audio engineering, was really, really good at music production and music theory and making stuff, but terrible at the actual listening to audio and everything like that. But I digress. And then I worked in a studio for a really small stint of a couple months, and then just kind of felt like I hit a ceiling or a dead end with music, and that was all it was ever going to be was, I work at a studio. That's the peak of it. And just started programming one day, and I was like, cool, let's look at a programming school thing. So I have something, I don't have a degree at this point. I had a bunch of certificates for the music stuff too. I was like, I'll just get another certificate, but in full stack web development. And so did that for 10 months. It was a really intense, it wasn't a boot camp because it was longer, almost a year. 9 to 5 every single day.
Damn.
Yeah, so it's it's definitely more than a boot camp, because most boot camps you think of for programming or any kind of development, they're usually short. They're 3-month things, 4-month things, you know what I mean? And they're 5-6 hours a day maybe. But yeah, this was super intense, in person, in the classroom, all that stuff, and just coding the whole time. We weren't wasted with lectures and everything else like that. We were just making projects together and stuff. So
that's a great way to get into it.
Yeah, it was super cool, because all that is experience too. I even on my resume now, my resume right now is just projects I've done and technologies I use. I don't put work history anymore. Like I used to put work history all the time. Like I don't even put it on there anymore. I don't even put my educational background. I don't put my certificates or anything. I put my one certificate for like, development. But yeah, I think the main thing as like someone that does programming, someone that's like a coder, like especially someone that's a really good hobby programmer, like employers want to see that. They want to see just a list of projects, like shit that you've done, problems you've solved, yeah, things like that. So that's where I'm at now.
Does that warrant kind of like a visual resume? Like, are you more inclined to bring a visual portfolio of the projects that you've completed?
Sure.
Okay.
I usually have like 2 resumes. So like one resume has like links to each of these sites that are on it. Like, here's how to get to it. Here's how to like go see what I've actually done. The other resume is more of like a laundry list of problems I've solved and like responsibilities I've had on projects. And that one I usually submit. And I hate to go into like a job search thing for like developers right now, but basically the one is a submission if I know a human's going to look at it. If I'm talking to a recruiter or if I'm talking to a HR person or someone from a company and I know they're going to look at this resume when I send it to them, I'm going to send them the one that shows the links where they can actually get to these websites.
Okay.
If it's some submission application where I'm just like clicking on like Glassdoor or like some other website where you're just like submitting resumes to like a machine automation system or like their website, I have a super dumbed down, no graphical looking at all like resume that's just a shit ton of like keywords and projects and stuff that I've made.
Interesting. Okay.
Because that's how it's going to get picked up. It's going to be, as a developer, the system that they have with the resumes is going to like just pull all the information off of it.
Right. Got it. Okay. Howie,
so, yeah, it's like 2 different things.
How's your college experience been? So over the 5 years have you spent it all at the same school?
No, I went to community college for 2.5 years. I took like an extra semester just taking like general classes to try to figure out what I wanted to do. Then I transferred to a 4-year university, and that's where I've been since I think it would be 2 years or 2.5 years coming up. So
okay,
I've just been doing that. And hopefully I'll be done by probably like the end of the summer, end of next semester. I'll have a degree. I just have to do one more semester after this one and then get an internship somewhere.
Okay.
And then after that, they'll give me my piece of paper that says I'm a good boy.
You a good boy. You did it. Yeah. You can have a party?
Like, good job. I don't know. Probably not.
Nagger's trying to get invited to that graduation party.
Dude, yeah.
You can come. It'll just be me and you just like chilling on a couch or something.
If there's a chance that there's like graduation money that I can steal,
get in on.
Dude. Okay, here's a question. When you guys graduated from high school, did your parents throw you a high school graduation party?
No. It was a choice.
I had one with a like my best friend who lives down the road, so we just had one at my house.
Can't tell if you're being facetious or not.
No, it was like a 2-in-1 party.
Oh, you're so okay. I thought you were just saying like me and my friend had our own party.
No. Yeah, we just came over and we just sat in our backyard. We just had like a bonfire.
Threw stones.
Yeah.
Fucking tongue shoveled each other.
They drank like one beer and like threw it across the street. They're like, oh shit, Ron, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking broke.
Dude, I'm gonna go into work tomorrow and somebody's gonna say, good morning, Nick, and I'm gonna go, good morning, tongue shovel. Yeah, fucking tongue shovel. It's a
great name.
It really is. It is.
It's one of the best.
So
is it a compliment or more of an insult, tongue shovel?
What do you mean?
There's got to be compliment, because like when I think tongue shovel, I think Dr. Disrespect's tongue, like the longest, lankiest tongue I've ever seen out of a human. Like Kiss, he has a Kiss stung.
It's disturbing to think about that, but it's true.
I just had a fucking stroke. I couldn't say stroke, dude. Okay, so chat, can you put a 0 if you did not have a high school graduation party thrown by your parents, or a 1 if you had a graduation party for high school? Because whenever I tell people that I had a high school graduation, they're like, you privileged cunt. What did you have?
It's honestly, it does definitely come off like a privileged thing. Like, you had a graduation party for like high school. Like, I had the option. My parents were like, hey, we would probably spend a couple $100 on this party. Do you want us to just give you a couple $100? I was like, yeah, just give me a couple $100. Like,
I got $3,100 in cash.
White people, dude. White people are crazy, bro. Like, this kid just made it through the most basic remedial education that everybody else gets to go through in their entire life. Just hand them some fucking, give some motivation because they probably need it more. Like,
I graduated with like a 2.0. I got $3 grand when I graduated.
Like, it just seems so silly. Like, but I mean, hey, fuck it.
I wonder how much money I would have gotten if they knew that I wasn't going to be that or they didn't know that I was going to be leaving the Jehovah's Witness organization. Like, if they knew that I wasn't sticking around, how many of those people? Yeah, how many people would have actually showed up? Dipped out real fast.
Dude, they would have.
Thanks for the cash,
bro.
Yeah, see, here's the thing. So it had to have been tainted money because I have a very rough history with cars. So I got that 3100. I bought a 99 red Grand Prix coupe that had the traditional 3800 engine. It's the one without the super 3600 V6. I can't remember. Didn't have the supercharger. It was a sick fucking car. I had it for 24 hours and it died the very next day because I bought it from like some dealership in like the ghetto of Detroit. It was a beautiful red coupe, man. It was like died, spark plugs were replaced. Went a little bit longer, died, catalytic converter. Went a little bit longer, and then by the second week, it had rod knock. So I had bought this, my first car ever, for $3,200. It died. And then I went back to that terrible, terrible dealer and they were like, we give you store credit. And so I got store credit. And then I bought a $5,000 car, which was a Buick Regal, which is the ultimate old person. It was beige too. So it was super old person car. One of the best cars that I've ever had, man. That thing, it had oomph. It had leather. It had a radio. Like, it just had all the goods.
Disgusting.
It was awesome. Same engine as the Grand Prix, and also the same exact rod knock after 6 months. So 6 months after I had that car got the same exact problem that my first car did. So that one died, and I bought a 2001 Kia Spectra 5-speed. It literally looked like a Titan had sat on the front of the car. Like, the windshield was cracked. The hood was being held down by a tie strap. It had a bra on the front of the car that was holding the bumper to the car. So anytime I had to get an oil change, they had to undo the tie strap and then take off the bra and the bumper just to get like underneath the hood. So basically all of my car problems up to that point, after I had that car for a couple of years, I bought a Jetta. And then 2 months after I bought that Jetta, the timing chain snapped, bent a bunch of valves, and then totaled that car. So by the time I was 20 years old, I had spent $20,000 on vehicles and repairs, had a $3,000 loan, and no car.
Bro, it's probably a good thing you had a graduation party then.
Seriously. But it's like, do I take the tainted money and then get a bunch of cars, or do I just not have the party and then go get like a moped or something? I feel like a moped would have been the better.
Dude, moped would be pretty sick.
Have you guys been riding these amazing scooters in your cities at all?
What, the birds?
Yeah, like the birds and the spins and the limes.
Bro, I gotta say this. That is the most legal pollution I've ever seen in my life.
Legal?
It's not even legal half
They're
the
just
time.
littered all these streets. Bro, I'll walk, like, if I walk in downtown Atlanta, like, literally it's like, oh, scooter blocking the entire sidewalk right now, laying on the ground. That's cool. Let me just step over this. And then, like, these people will just, like, whoosh by, and, like, they're the people that are riding them are never, ever people that are just, like, casually commuting or, like, usefully using them. It's, like, some, like, a random group of, like, old businessmen that are just like, oh, this is hilarious. Like, this is the coolest shit.
I've never seen that.
This is what downtown Atlanta looks like. And it's, like, honestly, they just litter the sidewalks. It's like, get this fucking scooter out of my way.
Scooter, man. We rode. We rode them downtown Detroit during the summer for the first time. We were pretty, I don't want to say we were buzzed, but we were inebriated. Inebriated is less than buzzed, right?
Inebriated
I
to
would
me
say
usually
no.
sounds more
Really?
like tipsy. Tipsy is always what I say when I'm like, I want people to think that like, yeah, I had some alcohol, but I wasn't like in any kind of like alternate like state of mind. I say tipsy.
What about
Buzzed, I think, is like parallel to that though.
what about
But I think
turnt?
inebriated is like, see, turnt sounds bad too.
Turn sounds like something you
when
do when you're
say
16.
inebriated makes me think, okay, you were a small vegetable or something like just
Okay.
getting steamy.
So tipsy is what we're going with.
Tipsy or buzz is actually fine.
Okay.
Like buzz, yeah, okay.
I feel like there's such a negative connotation around the word buzzed because of drunk driving. Like they always say like drunk driving's bad. Buzz driving still is bad. So like whenever I say buzzed, I always feel like this dark cloud.
mean, but that's the same thing as saying like tipsy driving's bad. It is bad. It's just like any kind of like
Tipsy's fun.
you know,
like
yeah, but not driving.
Like,
the point
tipsy.
stands is like I think that they sound the same.
okay,
That's just my
that's fair.
opinion. That's my opinion.
So we were a little turnt from
Nagger's like we were so fucked up.
we went to some restaurant. There was like there's something called Murals in the Market. So in downtown Detroit, there's a farmers market called Eastern Market. And then in the summertime, they pay all of these artists to come downtown and spray paint graffiti over all of the buildings. And then they redo the art every single year. So we went downtown and I had a fried bologna and bacon sandwich, which I didn't even know fried bologna was a thing. And I had it for the first time. It was fucking awesome. Fried bologna, man. If you have the chance, bologna, as many people like to say.
Bologna.
Yeah, bologna.
Dude, I'd never eat bologna, but honestly, fried bologna somehow it sounds good. I don't know why.
And it was like, you know how like you think of like bologna from the grocery store where it's a little thin slice? This thing was like a chunk of bologna. Like
Shit.
this bologna was turnt.
Slice from the stuff.
And then we were just going around and we're like, holy shit, this is our first opportunity to hop on one of these scooters and go around. And I think we spent more time looking for scooters than we actually did riding the scooter. Cause like you'd find one, it'd be dead. You go to the next one and somebody was renting it, and they were pretty scarce in Detroit. Nothing like San Diego, where every fucking corner had
there's like 7 of them.
Oh my, not it's more double or triple that. Like they have like these parking zones for these scooters that have like 20 or 30. There's so many scooters that they're just overfilling the entire lot. But I'll tell you what, the scooters at TwitchCon were some of like the funnest times that we had.
Yeah, that's good. I'm glad that they like, I'm glad they provide an entertainment level, because I don't think they're this revolutionary form of like, you know, commuting internally in a city that like people think they are. I think they are literally just fun.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good thing. I think it's a good thing.
I have to I'm gonna expose a big streamer here on Crocs and Hot Pockets episode 110. We were walking around San Diego, and
Be careful what you say about me.
You said big.
big, yeah, right.
Okay.
So, I love the way you guys banter. It's what makes your Not a Podcast so great. It's just you guys shitting in each other's mouths, just tongue
so
forking each other.
Like I hate it.
So we were standing on a corner looking, and we hear this beeping and screaming, like multiple cars beeping, and we look up and we see Tfue fucking skirting across, blasting through a red light, and then a posse, like 30 or 40 people deep, just fucking FaZe Clan, just blasting, everybody blasting through this red light. All these people just like fucking slamming on their horns. They didn't even give a shit. I saw Tfue laughing, that little bastard. I'm telling Twitch.
Dude, ban him. Twitch, ban him.
The little bastard.
He was having fun and didn't give a fuck. Illegal.
That guy.
Illegal.
I mostly hate him because he's young, he's handsome, he has hair, and he's good at Fortnite, which that last one. I think is.
I don't want to get into that. I don't want to. You know.
Wait, do you think you could out Fortnite dance him?
Yeah, I'm a professional Fortnite dancer. You kidding me?
Prove it right now. Prove it. Do the best dance you
Watch
got
this.
right now.
I'm gonna. Here's the new one. Is I didn't know that you could floss and then do like a ring around the rosy and then go like. Have you seen people do that where you just go and then you go around and then you're going back like this?
No
and then you motherfucking do like this, dude. You want to fuck with me, huh?
Man, this man.
I would. What would you give that, Wally? I'd give that like a
fucking 10, bro.
What am I comparing it to? I don't.
I don't. Whatever you want to
I don't
compare
have a frame
it
of
to.
reference.
Whatever your score is, you add 2 because I'm willing to do them in public where no one else is, unless you're under the age of
I
11.
have to add
You
2.
get
Do I
an
have
8
to
'cause
add
I was
2?
giving you a 6. So
You have to add 2 if you
I have
wouldn't
to.
do them in public. But if you would do them in
then
public,
you get a 10. Yeah, Knackers is like, well, if you wouldn't also do it, 4 more points from whatever you were thinking. Oh, that wasn't that's not quite as enough. But
You
also,
have to multiply by 2 as
other
well.
thing, then like 3 more points too.
So, and apparently this gives me the power to just blast through red lights while on a scooter.
Yeah,
Respectable.
you could just upload that on YouTube, man. Easy money right there.
You know what's the
Not getting
worst part
demonetized.
about it is he was probably riding a Lime scooter, which is the most inferior brand of scooters that are around.
Oh, I
Saying.
wasn't aware there was a
Isn't
higher.
are there only 2?
No,
There's Bird.
There's Bird, Spin, Lime, and then Lyft.
I didn't even know that there was this many.
You can same app that you can use to call a Lyft. You can also get a scooter. Not you. I wish you could get it delivered to you, but
The guy just walks up and just hands it to you, and then he just stands there.
hey man, just like here you go, sir. Here's your Lyft. Can you imagine how awesome that would be if somebody like came to your house, gave you a scooter, and just said, "Be gone."
Dude, what if they took the drones from Amazon and it just came and like dropped it on your porch?
Bro, I'm pretty sure there's some service that this dude used to do that was like on the news where he would ride his little like fold up scooter, portable sit down fold up scooter to people's cars when they were drunk, and he would drive their car home for them so that it was at their house like when they woke up after they took like a taxi or like a lift home.
And then they
this
took
dude-
the scooter?
No.
yeah, the drunk
No,
person took the scooter.
he would drive his scooter to wherever your car was, like when you're drunk or something.
Oh, okay.
And he'd drive it home for you, like while you took a Lyft or a taxi or some shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like, hey.
And then he would put his scooter like in the trunk, drive your car, like drop it off at your house, take his little scooter out of the trunk again, and go do his thing.
That's pretty genius. It's like, hey,
Yeah.
I know you have a 2-ton vehicle that has airbags and a seatbelt. Have this scooter and drive home, and I'm gonna take your car.
Yeah, see, that would be
I was like, that's pretty genius. But then now it makes sense that he would just put the scooter in the trunk.
yeah. It's really stupid, but it's kind of smart. Someone will definitely pay for that.
I'm down. What are we sipping on tonight, Wally? I want to hear what you have in your glass, Mr. Pikachu on your shelf.
It's a dude. That's so offensive, you guys. Like Gengar is the best Pokemon. Pikachu ain't shit. Okay.
I thought it was Eevee for a second.
Gengar's like Pikachu's like dark side, like brother. They've got the same body build and everything. Pikachu's a little slimmer, a little more jumpier, but like he can't fuck with it though.
I don't know, man. They're the same color and everything. I get a little confused.
Yeah, definitely, dude. You're colorblind for sure. Get that checked.
I am.
This drink is just it's like a shot and a half of mezcal, like a shot and a half of like lime raspberry juice, and then like some rosemary.
Sounds like something Mark Bezos would drink. Either. What's his name?
Mark Bezos. Yeah, that guy.
What's his fucking
Jeff
sure.
Bezos?
Mark Zuckerberg. Jeff, there we go.
Mark
Jeff Bezos.
Jeff Zuckerberg.
Whatever, dude. It doesn't matter at this point, dude. You can call him whatever you want.
They're all part
You
of
got
the
so
same.
much money. Yeah, they're
Blue Eyes
all
White
part of the
Dragon.
Illuminati.
Mark Bezos.
Shut
part of
up,
the Hydra.
dude. Now you're making me feel
I
bad.
don't know why that's so fucking funny to me. Yeah, it's like
Mark
the Tim
Bezos,
Apple thing.
Tim Apple.
It's convenient that somebody named Trumpy would say Tim Apple.
It is. What's crazy is it didn't happen just once. It's happened
It's
more
every
than
day.
once.
It's every day, bro.
Oh my God. With that Disney Channel flow, bro.
Speaking of Disney, Bob Iger.
What?
That's the CEO of Disney. I'm just
Okay. No, yeah.
Trying to bridge.
I did
Trying to
see.
bridge
Wow,
things that
that was
shouldn't
really
be bridged.
good.
Some Death Stranding type of thing.
I thought you were trying to do some.
Moving on.
I thought that was like a tangent. All right, I thought you were trying to like bridge. Or it was some kind of pun. I thought it was going to be a
Go to
pun
the
joke.
next topic or something.
And yeah, good try.
Great job. Yeah, thank you.
I lost my shit about Mark Bezos that I didn't even pay attention to what you were drinking.
I'm drinking mezcal and some like lime and raspberry or cramp. Fuck.
Dude, just say it. It's not that hard.
Cransberry.
It's a mezcal drink.
Okay.
It's good.
Can you please hold the drink up to the camera again so I can explain what I saw at the beginning? So when he held that up, I said, Wally, why do you have a praying mantis in your glass? Because it really fucking looks like it. But it's just
It does.
I've never I know that I've been to, there's a bar here in my hometown of Wisconsin that has a bar where they do
That's
all
not a town.
Stop it. Now they can narrow me down. They are one of those bars that like lights herbs on fire and they'll like shave walnut into your drink and smoke shit.
Hell yeah.
Like,
that's what I like to hear.
Carve fucking dolphins on a bananas.
Yes.
Perfect.
Nice.
Love that stuff. They do that kind of stuff, and I feel like I have been near a bartender when they've either smoked rosemary or put rosemary in a drink. So I'd be willing to try it.
It's so good, dude. It's weird because like when you first have like a really smoky drink, especially with mezcal, it's like tequila but like smoky. But then you're like, oh, I have to sip this really, really slow. But then once you have like a taste for it, you're like, I could demolish this drink in a second. Like every time you get ordered it, like it's just refreshing.
What turned you onto it?
Honestly, I think okay. So I've been drinking like only tequila for like months now. Like I haven't drank any beer or anything like that for like I used to drink beer all the time, but for the last like I drink water all the time, bro. What do you mean? Like
You
stay
said
hydrated.
only tequila though.
Okay, you get the point. But yeah, I switched to tequila only because tequila, the sugars in agave, can't get absorbed by like your bloodstream. So basically, tequila. Yeah, tequila doesn't have sugar. Is basically what the point is.
Oh.
It does have sugar, but it's not like your body can't absorb it. So tequila is super cool, and I drank tequila forever now for like 9 months, and then mezcal. I had a mezcal drink because someone was like, "Oh, it's like tequila but like smokier." I was like, "Cool, whatever, try it, sure." And it was like this minty, like really dark raspberry drink, and it looked like a tiny, tiny amount of liquid. And it's like, dude, this is like a bullshit drink. But I took a sip and I was like, this is so like refreshing and like it totally like just like a really slow sipping drink. But then I found all these other different kinds of it and I'm like, holy shit, some of these are dangerous. Like I could choke this in a second.
So you just buy it by the bottle and then you pour it in and you drink it lukewarm, do you drink it cold?
It's all cold. It all has to be cold.
Okay.
For sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like I'll throw that shit in the freezer for a little while if it's not like cold enough. Like there's something about tequila and mezcal when it's in the freezer or when it's like super, super cold, it almost like the liquid is slower. Like you could see it when you pour it. Like the liquid's like this, like, I don't know how to describe it. But it's so good.
You'll have to send me some brand names because I'd be willing to go and go grab some.
Mezcal's hard to find, but I can send you some awesome tequila. Yeah, okay. Mezcal, I don't know why. I think it's the South. It's not popular at all. I think that's the problem, maybe. So like when I go to liquor stores around me, it's like literally just I walk in, I ask if they have it, I don't even look, and they're just like no. And it's like okay, cool. So there's like one liquor store that I know that has one type of mezcal, and thankfully it's a good kind. But yeah, okay, it's really good.
One last question for you: do you live in downtown Atlanta?
No, I live like 45 minutes north.
Okay, would you?
So
Go ahead. Nope.
Well, I don't want to say. I was gonna say technically I live in blank, but like I don't want to. Yeah,
good point.
So I live like 45 minutes north of Atlanta.
Would you want to live in downtown Atlanta?
It's actually pretty chill if you go to like Midtown. There's like an area called Midtown. There's also like a whole nother city called Buckhead above Atlanta.
Okay.
Which is like the newer up and coming. Like there's still some skyscrapers and stuff, but it's all like brand new shit. And like a little bit more modern-y. So yeah, like if you go to like Midtown, that's awesome. Buckhead's really cool, but like downtown Atlanta, it's just, it's like any other older city that has a really like, deep history of a downtown that's expanded so much. It's just nothing. There's nothing really there. There's factories and stuff like that. There's a lot of like industrial stuff.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right, Howie, what are you drinking? And if you don't take 10 minutes to explain it, I'm going to have to end the call.
So I had some coffee beans, and then you take those coffee beans and you put them with water, and you get this thing called coffee. And I just had a cup of coffee.
How are you going to fall asleep tonight, son?
I'm going to do push-ups until I pass out, I guess. I don't know. I don't go to bed until like 2, so we still got some time to kill.
What time?
Too.
What's the earliest you have to wake up?
The earliest I have to get up at 9, and I got to be out of my house by like 9:20.
Okay.
So most of the time I just get up, browse my phone, check the memes, and get dressed and leave.
Where is your memes news feed? Like, where do you go for the most accurate and up to date memes?
I'm in a Discord. I'm in a Discord, and they just have like a shit posting tag, and I'll go in there and like every night it's like 50 new messages, and I'll just scroll through there.
Oh my god, memes!
So, I've got over like 1,400 on my phone right now. So
memes.
You need a meme. Yep.
Like saved.
Basically, yeah. It's basically all just memes, the entire thing.
Holy shit.
I have like maybe like 5 photos of me, and then I have like some pictures of nature, and then that's pretty much it. Everything else is just memes. God damn it. Conbot just enlightened me to what deep fried means. Oh, those are great.
When it comes to memes, and I didn't even know that this was a thing. I felt so uncultured that I didn't know what deep fried meant.
Yeah, those are Conbot's favorite memes apparently. So
deep fried. He likes deep fried and ear. I don't know another word for this word. Loud. He likes loud memes, the ones that hurt your ears, ear screechers.
I always consider deep fried memes to be shit tier memes too, like where the quality of the meme is just getting worse and worse with every screenshot that someone takes of it.
Yes,
because nobody's saving the image, everyone's just screenshots it, so it just gets worse and worse. I always call those shit tier memes, and I feel like shit tier Star Wars memes are amazing because it's so stupid. Like you envy the like amount of stupidity the person had that created it because you're like, I wish I could be that funny.
That's how I feel with memes most of the time. And so I have this super weird, non-existent, but existent relationship with TikTok at the moment where I know
I love TikTok.
It's a good idea to get on TikTok, even if I'm not going to create the best content. But like when I see what other people are doing and like on Twitch, I can look at Twitch and go, these skills are achievable. But then I go on TikTok and I see how fucking funny and creative people are. And I say to myself, there's no way that I will ever be on any of these people's level. And that's just how I feel. But I actually I'm having a problem getting back into my account. So I can't, I'm currently not on TikTok. But if I was to create content for it, it would be not what everybody is doing. Like it would be
low-key banned. It's like I got some trouble getting back to my account right now, but I love using this app and I'm really gonna make some groundbreaking shit.
Tongue shovel TikToks, if you know what I'm saying.
That's the hashtag.
But I would just do stuff that is centered around my stream. Like I wouldn't be just like the Vine style of recording TikToks and stuff. And I'm like, I don't even know if that would even do that great. But we'll fucking see. We'll see. Speaking of coffee, I was doing a lot of research because I want to start having cold brew at home. For some reason, when it comes to coffee, I've always bought coffee beans or coffee grounds to make coffee at home. And I never thought of just getting the equipment to make cold brew at home. By equipment, I just mean like a jug that you can throw coffee packets into. But even so, like a venti cold brew from Starbucks, again, privileged, is $4 if you don't add anything fancy.
How big is venti? I don't speak.
24 ounces.
Is it really only 24?
Yeah, it's 24 ounces.
How
I've never been to Starbucks.
Papayas is venti?
Yeah, it's 24 ounces.
Okay.
I order a lot of Starbucks, dude.
Okay, so that's $8 for 2. If you buy the cold brew from the grocery store, like the Starbucks branded cold brew pouches of coffee, it's $8 and makes like 2.2 venti cold brews. I'm like, well, this isn't really fucking saving me any money.
Don't they have like the jug of it too that you can buy?
I think that's even more expensive. Like if you go buy the jugs, because I think the cold brew box makes 4 cups, which would be 64 ounces. I believe it's 4 cups, if not a little bit less than 4 cups. But like, you know what? I need to start doing some research on how to just make these pouches myself, or to just be able to soak the coffee without having to make some pouch mechanism. And it turns out that I didn't realize that brewing coffee removed so much flavor from coffee. Like the process of putting this super hot water over coffee grounds actually removes not only a lot of the flavor, but a lot of the nutrients as well. Like coffee is actually really fucking good for you. And it always makes me sad when people say they don't like coffee. But I know that I'm in the midst of 2 coffee lovers, so I feel safe. I feel at home.
I've actually drank a lot of tea lately. I don't know why.
What kind?
It's like like just green tea.
Oh my God. I don't have anything to say.
I was drinking a ton of like the espresso frappuccinos from Starbucks. I was drinking a lot of those. And God, they're fucking good. Especially when you get it like the way that I get it, which is like all like this like no sugar stuff.
Okay.
It's still really good though. Either way. Point being, I had to pick something else. I couldn't spend like $11 on a fucking drink.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, let me get almond milk. Oh, let me get like the no sugar, like vanilla sweetener. Like, oh, let me get like this other, like, let me get it like, and then it's like, okay, why am I spending $10 for a fucking coffee at this point now? Like, it's a little bit excessive.
Do you, other than Starbucks, do you go to any like little niche Atlanta places that are like little coffee shops? Are those common where you're at? Yeah,
there's a really good one called Chrome Yellow. It's super fucking good. But I usually just get like an iced Americano. I keep it like really simple when I go to like some other place. But yeah. I usually don't get like fancy drinks when I go to like a place I don't know.
Oh, just trying to like play it safe.
Yeah, just get something like original and like see how good their basic stuff is.
You just made me think of when I was in St. Louis recently. There was this coffee shop that we went to, and they had it's one of those places where the largest coffee is like 20 some ounces. And because it's so fucking strong and caffeinated that they can't, like, they just don't make them bigger than that. And we went to this awesome coffee place that had a really, really good iced coffee, and now I can't remember the name of it. But are you, Howie, when you are drinking your coffee, do you get fancy with it ever, or are you just like a Folgers man where you just put like Folgers in a condom and let it soak?
That sounds like the new thing I got to try like next week.
Get some rubber in your morning.
And so I just keep on putting the little pods in, and then I just make the coffee that way.
You're
but normally if I like
Keurig
go out somewhere, yeah, dude, it's so easy. I get coffee in like,
yes, that's true. I can't argue that.
That's like the whole point. But then you make like just enough. Like you go and you make a pot of coffee, it's like, okay, if you don't drink the entire thing, it's gonna sit there the entire day. Then it's gonna get cold, and if you like cold coffee, you're kind of a monster. But
I mean, I'm not hating on Keurig cups. They're amazing.
No, I'm just saying.
You don't like coffee that's once was hot and now is cold, or you just don't like cold coffee at all?
I don't really like cold coffee at all. Like I will try to drink my coffee like as fast as possible.
That I understand.
Honestly, that's disrespectful.
You're disrespectful. I suppose it's way better warm. It's way better warm. And if you're having something the inferior way, it's wrong. I'm sorry. Don't me. Go drink your tea, boy.
Wally tea.
Yeah.
Too real.
And plus, most of the time I just drink, like if I go out somewhere, I'll just get like just black coffee. You ever have like room temperature black coffee?
It's the worst.
Nothing in it. It's horrible.
Yeah. My last job, we had one of those commercial double coffee pot maker makers, and the coffee would sit there, and I think we went 4 years without the machine getting cleaned. And if there is the worst tasting coffee is Teacher's Lounge coffee. I don't know why. It's pungent. It's like almost tart,
pungent,
and it gives you heartburn.
4 years. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. My Keurig, when it wasn't cleaned, and you don't swap out the little filter things in the water, and you don't like run it through with just water, no cups. Sometimes, like, you're gonna get like I would get like really bad heartburn from every cup of coffee I ever made. Until I was like,
you got a weak body, man.
My fucking Keurig, and I cleaned it, and I was like, oh my god, why have I never thought of doing this before?
I've never cleaned my Keurig. Weenie, how long have we had our Keurig for? We don't use it's not an everyday thing.
Replace the filter.
I didn't even know it had a filter.
There's a little filter in it. Yeah.
There's a little filter in the back.
And then
you can also buy pods that you just put in there, and it'll run it, and it'll be like a cleaning pod.
Yeah, the cleaning pods work too. But I mean, you can always just swap out the filters, get like 20 of them on Amazon for like $20.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, you don't need to switch them out like that often. It's not like that big of a deal. It's like a once a year maybe thing. So if you've used it for a year or two, it's not like it's terrible for you.
Okay. And I don't know how often Weenie uses it, but I'll go weeks without using it because I just make coffee in my $20 Mr. Coffee.
Bro, yeah, if you're not using it every day, like it's not an issue.
Okay.
But it's definitely something to think about because I didn't know they had those in there either until I was like, oh shit, you can buy these. What is that? Oh, that's in my machine. I should probably replace that.
Why does my coffee taste like lake?
I would get heartburn and it would get worse every time too. I'm like, how is this? I don't know.
Clean your Keurigs, people.
How much money do you guys spend on like Starbucks a week?
I've cut it down.
From what to now? Like, what is it now?
I don't.
Taste a drink.
I'm no more than $10 a week. Like if I usually go once a week. Yeah.
Yeah, I've cut mine down to about that same amount. I mean, at its worst, if that's what you really want to know, Howie, at its worst, probably
that's what I'm getting at.
At its worst, probably $100 a week.
What?
But, yeah, I was getting like a $10 drink or like $11 drink.
But that's more than one time a day.
I would get like one a day, and then So yeah, maybe not $100. So maybe like $70-$80. But
oh my god, that is so. I mean, that you're obviously making decent money.
Well, I was doing it to make money, dude. It's like why people do fucking cocaine. They're like, I'm gonna do cocaine so I can make more money, so I can buy more cocaine. Like it's a ritualistic habit. Like it's bad. Okay. It's
oh my god. What I always tell people is because there's always so many people who grill me for getting Starbucks, but the fact of the matter is, what other place has quick drive-through coffee that isn't terrible? And the answer is
Tim Hortons.
You did not just say that out loud.
I've never had Tim Hortons coffee.
It's fucking garbage. Everything at Tim Hortons is garbage.
Yo, Tim Hortons black coffee
that sounds disrespectful.
Cardboard water.
No, there's opinions.
There's nothing good at Tim Hortons. Nothing.
Maybe a donut. Maybe one donut.
One single donut.
Yeah, maybe like a fucking apple fritter.
Like
you got bad taste buds.
Easiest thing to make. They might have one good thing of that.
That's it. Sandwiches, garbage. Breakfast, garbage. Coffee, garbage. Coffee lids, the most garbage on the planet. Those lids couldn't hold an air. They're fucking. I'm so triggered thinking about Tim Hortons coffee lids right now because they leak. If you are standing still, they will leak, and I don't know how many scars I have on my fucking hand from Tim Hortons shit leaking. I've popped off.
Scars? You have scars?
I'm exaggerating a little bit, but the amount of times where coffee,
I thought you had like actual burns. No. I was like, please sue.
I'd be rich from lawsuits at this point if that was the case.
Damn.
No, I'm sorry, but if anybody likes fucking Tim Hortons, you're dead to me. Nothing at Tim Hortons is good.
It's hot cardboard water. That's what the coffee tastes like.
What do you like at Tim Hortons, Howie?
I don't even know when the last time I was at Tim Hortons. I was just saying that to make you angry.
Okay, good. Ice caps.
The Timbits.
Timbits are good. Ice caps.
What are Timbits?
Are the donut holes.
My friends made fun of me because I didn't know that they were like called donut holes. I was just like, oh yeah, Timbits. They're like, do you know what those are called? I'm like, Timbits? They're like, no, they're donut holes. I'm like, how the fuck am I supposed to know
That's a stupid name. I hate calling them donut holes.
Yeah.
How do you call something a hole that isn't a hole? The hole resides with the whole donut.
The donut, yeah.
Not the little dude, not the nugget. That always pisses me off when somebody says donut holes. I'm like, you know what? You were just like conforming to the standards of society right now. You are being fucking brainwashed calling it donut holes. It's not even true. Fucking Tim Hortons. You see what you guys have done on this podcast? Never again. Never again. Anyways, we should probably move on before I get a little bit more triggered. Wally, you had a topic that you wanted to touch on, and I had a topic that I wanted to touch on. So the floor is yours. I would love to hear about how this tweet originated with you.
Yeah, if it's the tweet that I think that you're referencing. No, I'm tired of seeing what's his name?
Mark Bezos.
I'm gonna butcher his name. Gordon
Ramsay.
Gordon Hayworth or something. I don't know. It's some NBA.
You're talking about the guy from the the Celtics, the white dude.
It's a white dude.
Gordon,
It's a white
Hayward,
NBA player. Yeah, Gordon Hayward. So he always shows up on these Twitch ads where he's like a fucking PC gamer, and it just pisses me off every time because you would never see this ever in any other sport where some dude that doesn't play that sport is the face of an advertisement for people of that sport or like that are influenced by that sport. And so it just blows my mind that esports and video games are as huge of an industry as they are, but they still get treated as like an elementary thing where stars that supersede video games are relevant in video games. Like when they have Ice-T on fucking like stupid Twitch like special events things and stuff like that. Like, get the fuck out. That dude hasn't touched a controller ever until someone paid him like $100,000 to talk about.
At least get T-Pain up in there.
T-Pain at least does play video games.
Right.
I do follow him on Twitter. But like the point being is get somebody, and I'm not saying these people don't actually play video games. I'm not saying Gordon Hayward isn't a huge PC gamer. He might be. That's great. But that doesn't mean that, Tom Brady on his off time and plays street hockey with his kids is going to start selling, fucking ice skates and, hockey sticks to people just because he's a big, like, part-time on his own free time fan of that sport. He's never, ever going to star in a commercial that sells directly equipment, technically, keyboard and mouse is equipment to me, to that sport. Like, it doesn't make any sense. But again, it's because they treat esports and gaming like it's this like elementary thing, as if it's not billions and billions and billions of dollars just like them. It's so weird, and it just always rubs me the wrong way.
I'm trying to think of other examples where this has happened. Ones that like I'm familiar with. I know that you brought up an example, but like, do you see this the same as like sports figures being put on the box of Wheaties?
Yes and no. At that point, they're promoting more of like a healthy lifestyle. Like, look, I'm an athlete. I'm a healthy person. I'm active. I'm strong. I'm whatever. Like, that sort of makes sense. You know what I mean? To then try and promote your healthy breakfast cereal or breakfast cereal that's going to make you strong and, athletic and whatnot.
Is any cereal healthy?
Yes. It just
maybe
like
Cheerios.
You
like
really just have to be conscious of the sugars, I guess.
The bear Cheerios. No sugar, no flavors.
Like the normal ones.
I mean, if you really want to get wild, you pour some fucking almond milk, pour some flavorless fucking plain Cheerios, and put a packet of stevia in. If you're just like, if you're that rowdy about like no sugar, but I need it to be sweet,
right?
Like, but no one's going to do that because that's fucking disgusting.
I think the cereal industry is built on the lie that the government has instilled in all of our lives that we need milk to live. Like, we need the fucking liquid from another animal.
Disgusting. Dairy in general. I can eat cheeses in like moderation, but like dairy in general, I'm not even lactose intolerant. It fucks me up.
I do love cheese.
Any surplus of dairy. I love cheese too. Honestly, don't get me wrong. I eat cheese. Like, I'll make a bomb ass breakfast sandwich. Like, there has to be like a thick ass slice of cheese on it. But point being, I think dairy is overconsumed by many people and is usually the problem of their heartburn or their disdain in their stomach.
How
from my experience.
Are you a dry breakfast sandwich eater? Like, do you just like meat and cheese, or do you want some kind of sauce on your breakfast sandwich?
I don't eat breakfast sandwiches. I don't think I've had one in.
And you're defending Tim Hortons? I swear, you guys are gonna bring the devil out of me tonight.
I can go if you guys want. It can be just you two, and you guys can just like talk about sandwiches or something.
I'm gonna fucking just dab my tongue dry until it's like sandpaper and tongue shovel your fucking ass. That sounds like a good time.
I love that Knackers is now like, now that I've seen tongue shovel in the chat, that's just my new word now. Sorry.
I love it
now.
That's great.
Yoink.
So you don't like, okay. Are you a breakfast?
I have to say I'm somewhat of a picky eater.
Okay.
For the most part. So like
somewhat
breakfast,
of a picky eater. You're a fucking bird, bro.
like breakfast, you're picky. Barely have breakfast. I almost never have breakfast.
Okay.
So all breakfast food out the window. Unless it's like 2 a.m., then I might go downstairs and like get some cereal because that's like the best time for breakfast food.
So no chicken and waffles, no eggs Benedict.
I'll have that at like 2 a.m.
Okay.
But like normally, if I have to go somewhere in the morning, I get up, change my clothes, and just leave.
You just go.
Go. Yep.
So if you had the chance, or if you had the choice to not eat or to eat lunch for breakfast, like eat lunchy foods for breakfast, what would you rather do?
What was the first option? Not eat. Just probably just not eat. I don't know. I don't get hungry until like midday most of the time.
Okay.
That's just how I've conditioned my body. I've done that ever since I was a little kid. So
you're basically
15 plus years of just not having breakfast. It's just like I don't really need it at this point.
First of all, breakfast is also a lie instilled by our government. And
people say it's the most important meal, and that's bullshit.
That's fucking
dude.
bullshit.
You do not need breakfast.
When I told my parents that I was intermittent fasting and then 1 meal a day fasting, they're like, Nicholas, but breakfast is the most important meal of the day. I'm like, no, Mom, it's fucking not. And I couldn't change their minds. They were like, no, absolutely not. This is 100% science.
It's a waste of time.
Your body needs fuel first thing in the morning. You need cereal. You need Folgers. You need donut holes, which are also a lie. I think we've touched on so many conspiracies tonight that the value of this podcast is just immeasurable. I'm proud so far. So. Okay, so yeah, so you pretty much have been following an intermittent fasting schedule for quite some time. If you're usually not eating until lunch or afterwards.
Yeah, like the days that I get up at 9, I don't think I eat something until like 2 p.m. So I go from 9 to 2, just not eating, just drinking water and stuff.
Okay. I always used to get made fun of in my last job because like girlfriend and I would go out for dinner the night before. We go to like Buffalo Wild Wings, and then I would bring my Buffalo Wild Wings to work the next day. 7:30 in the morning, I put my wings in the fucking microwave and heating it up. And then teachers are coming by, grabbing their coffee and going, "What the fuck are you doing?" I'm having breakfast.
Pretty good, man.
Yeah, who doesn't want a chicken? They're the first thing in the morning. The protein. So I never understood why everyone.
Bring some. Okay, here's another thing, kind of on the topic of food. Do you guys enjoy cold pizza, or would you rather have like it just warmed up?
I enjoy cold pizza, but I would never order a pizza to put it in the fridge to eat it cold the next day. Like I'm gonna eat it hot. The only way to heat up pizza, and this is not an opinion, this is a fact, is in a frying pan. It is the only proper way to heat pizza up.
What about a toaster oven? I put mine in the toaster oven and it comes out like kind of crunchy. I'm like, ooh, this is really good.
I think that's fair. I might have to change my perspective a little bit, but I'm telling you, man, all you need is a frying pan, a little bit of water, and some tin foil. And you can make any pizza slice taste like it just came out of the oven every fucking time.
You do need to use the tin foil if you heat it up at all, for sure.
Oh yeah, I'm telling you, man. Frying pan.
You can't add that crunch back to it if you don't like. People just don't know sometimes, bro.
Residual heat.
It's necessary.
It is.
Pizza's only good if you can get it back to that crunch.
Yeah.
Like the bottom, the crust. Once it's back to that, that's good again.
That cardboard. So back to your original point about having these non-esports figures that are representing the gaming community. I did see somebody that replied to one of your tweets that said, don't you just see this as people trying to bridge the gap between people who don't know about esports, like putting a likable face on gaming so that it's more eyes that are going to be on esports in general. And I can't remember if you responded to that tweet or not, but what are your thoughts on that response?
I think I know I responded once to one point. I don't know if it was that one, but that one it slightly bothers me as well. It's the same general concept of the fact that these other industries of other sports and stuff perceive esports as like a lesser tier of sport on the rise, as if it's not already almost just as big or equivalent to some of these sports out there. Like, you want to label the biggest, most popular sports in the US, across the board. By the time you get to like the, 6th or 7th sport, you're bleeding into the same levels of viewership and support that esports get. And so it seems so ridiculous that, you know, the tie across there too is those other esports before you get down to the next like actual sport again. And I just feel like it's billions and billions of dollars, and they act like it's, you know, a crumb that's just, you know, just barely coming into the scene of sports or spectator entertainment, I guess. And it's better. It's better to watch. Like, think about the ability to watch a video game. You can redesign the game specifically for that Overwatch overview, whatever game master or whoever's controlling those cameras and stuff. You can change the entire game to make that look crazy cool. You know what I mean? Like, you can design a game entirely around the spectators enjoying it.
Right.
Whereas like regular sports nowadays will never really evolve. They only evolve when it comes to safety. That's the only evolution that really happens in a lot of sports, is safety or more rules.
That is so, like, true.
There's not a lot of evolution, but like a whole new game could come out, and that's a whole new sport. I would invest my money in platforms that are showing you stuff like that, where someone, yeah, to be a hardcore fan of that sport, whether it's League of Legends or whatever, for, you know, tens of years, like a lot of people these days are. But that can change. There can be a new sport. League of Legends isn't going to be the only thing that they're watching constantly forever for the next 30, 40 years. Baseball's not going to change. Hockey's not going to change. Football's not going to change. Those sports are those sports. It's honestly way more interesting when a new game comes out, becomes popular, becomes competitive. That's more interesting to me, because this isn't Fortnite season 68, you know, 30 years from now. This is a new game, a new IP. It's brand new. It's everything. It's, you know, it can be in any world, any dimension, sci-fi, all this shit. Like, gaming takes over. It wins in the long run. We all know.
Don't you think that would cause people not to invest, because it's always changing and it's always uncertain if it's going to be successful?
Yes and no. That's an excellent point. I think the proof is in the pudding, though, where if it's going to be popular for a while, it's going to be popular for a while. CSGO, League of Legends, even Dota, a copy of League of Legends to a degree.
Do you think that that's more incentive to invest in an organization that owns teams, as opposed to, because like what in the real world, I say, like, what in the sports world mirrors like a most recently disbanded Echo Fox or a Cloud9? Like, where do those companies exist in the sports world, the physical sports world, where you have this one company that owns all of these teams and where the actual sport changes? I don't really think that exists.
I mean, I would draw the parallel to like agencies and representatives of the players in quote unquote, you know, actual sports. I would draw the parallel to that, where these organizations are, yes, they're putting up whole teams sometimes, Cloud9, etc. But at the same time, a lot of these companies are franchising all their games. So like even Call of Duty now is franchised. Like, you don't see a FaZe Clan in Call of Duty anymore. That's crazy to think about, because they've been in Call of Duty for 10 years. And they are like what you think of first when you think of Call of Duty teams a lot of times, or you think of, you know, what's Scump from? What's his Optic? Yeah, Optic Gaming. Like, you like, now Optic Gaming isn't a team that competes in Call of Duty. Like, it's franchised to like these certain names, like real sports, like an Overwatch League type of thing. And that's cool, but I think it's important to have those organizations still, because London Spitfire, the Overwatch team, that's technically Cloud9. Cloud9 owns that team, but it's a franchise. But it's a franchise within the Overwatch League that just happens to be owned by their entities. Whether it's all owned by them or all owned by Jack Etney, I don't know. But it is owned in some way, shape, or form by Cloud9. But again, they don't get to put Cloud9 anywhere on it because it's franchised.
Interesting.
So I think it's a cool thing that's going on, but I don't know if it's better or worse than the organizations all fielding teams in different sports. I can't tell if it's better or worse yet. I don't know.
Yeah, the interesting part about that is, like, we don't see people walking around in agency jerseys in sports, right? It's like, it's the team. And now
it's the team that they're on.
I can't really say that I see a lot of team merch, but you definitely see single players like with their merch. You know, every streamer, every professional player has their own merch, and then they have the Cloud9 merch, which is included, kind of inclusive with the players to name themselves. So it's kind of super interesting to see that kind of unfold.
It's funny too, because actually a lot of jerseys that get sold for Cloud9 or for, you know, Luminosity or Optic or whoever, they sell these playerless name jerseys a lot of times. Sometimes they don't sell even individual player jerseys. A lot of these companies or a lot of these organizations. And I think that's a good and a bad thing. And I think it's a good thing for two reasons. One, when you think about it really literally, wearing some other dude's name on your back's kind of like, that's kind of like this. It's weird, like dynamic of like, I'm such a big fan of this other human being that I'm just going to put their name on my back and promote them as I'm walking around. Like, I know it's so normal to think about because people love sports jerseys and like it's such a part of American culture and like culture of sports in general. But it's also so strange to me once I like really give it more and more thought. But then the other thing that's really good about that too is these players in esports teams, they shift teams way quicker than all these other sports.
Right.
Like they're so much more fluid, and a roster can change so quickly. So I think it's a good thing, but it's interesting. I'll wear like my Cloud9 jersey somewhere. People will recognize it all the time. Every time people will be like, "Oh, are you like?" And it's weird because they don't see those jerseys enough, but they all recognize it. So they ask if you're a part of it. No one asks, "Oh, you're a Cloud9 fan." Like if someone saw me in a Atlanta Falcons jersey, they're not going to say, "Hey, do you play for the Atlanta Falcons?" No one would ever make that assumption. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I wear a Cloud9 jersey somewhere, or you wear a Luminosity jersey or like a Overwatch team, like people will say, "Are you a part of that organization?" Because they recognize it enough to point it out, but they don't see it ever enough to like think, "Oh, that person is just like anybody else. They're just a fan." So it's a weird change. Like you wear any sports jersey, no one's asking you if you play for that team. Where esports jerseys, people's first assumptions are you a part of that team? It's kind of weird. Maybe it's because I look like such a fucking gamer.
I'm going to give you guys some insane responsibility and have you hold the floor because I have to urinate and I'll be right back.
I'm really good at this. I'm a pro.
So what about that traffic, man?
I just was going to say it's illegal to talk about traffic, so don't.
No, because dude, think about if we could talk about traffic all the time and improve it all the time, and then you could like cut your commuting time in half. Imagine that.
No, but
Wouldn't that be insane? How long does it take you to drive to work, huh?
I don't even want to answer.
What if you could cut? What if you cut that time? What if you could cut that time in half? Takes you 40 minutes. Bam, 20 minutes.
No,
20 minutes. We can improve on that. 10 minutes. Bam, you're there and back in 10 minutes.
Is it illegal for me to talk to chat? Is that like not allowed?
I
was told to hold the floor. I don't know any rules.
You can tell a joke. Try tell a joke, dude. Try telling a joke.
I don't tell jokes. I'm not funny.
Come on, tell a joke.
I'm not telling a joke.
Tell a joke right now. You won't.
Bishop said I'm allowed. I'm pretty sure he's a part of this podcast now. I'm pretty sure he's a rule maker in this chat now. Be funny, lol. Bro, okay, now he's demanding it. Never mind. We're not reading chat. Fuck chat. Yeah.
I closed chat. Fuck that guy.
Oh, you closed chat?
Yeah, I closed chat. I'm not reading that propaganda.
Oh, shit. Okay. Wow. I mean, honestly, I respect that, but, you know, I don't understand why you think it would be propaganda. Those are your friends, you know?
Yeah, it's propaganda towards me. I'm getting paranoid of everything.
Do you know what propaganda means? I feel like you have a misunderstanding of what that word actually means.
Do you know what propaganda means?
I don't.
What's your opinion on roundabouts, by the way? Did we over this? You can just make it a short answer if you want.
I think they're efficient, but it gives more people to fuck up. Like it gives people more of a chance to fuck up instead of it's just red, stop. And now it's just like, look and make your own decision on whether it's a good idea to go or not.
Do you think if we had more roundabouts, there'd be less mistakes that people made when it comes to them?
Don't play into this topic.
Like if there were more round, you think there would be just
don't let them do this. Don't let them do this. is the worst.
Even though I have to say that there was a study that there were actually less accidents in roundabouts than there were at four-way intersections.
You don't know that.
See, here's Here's my thing. I think they only put roundabouts in the most privileged of cities. Once they start putting roundabouts in places that aren't so great, shit's gonna hit the fan.
I mean, are you? I mean, it's a dangerous assumption. Okay, I'll just say that it's a dangerous.
No,
assumption.
I just mean like imagine putting a roundabout in a city, like in an intersection.
If you go to like cities in like France, they'll put like 6-lane roundabouts. There's no lane lines or anything, but it looks like 6 lanes because of how wide this roundabout is. It's just a cluster of vehicles. There's no organization. It's terrible. Yeah, don't put roundabouts in cities.
2-lane roundabouts, no more, no less.
Yeah, exit lane and continue lane. Like it's easy. It's simple logic, but this is, you know, EU boys. They don't.
But they don't know. I feel like here's one point, and maybe this is why there are less accidents. When you go to a roundabout, you can't just go straight. Where when people usually come to a 4-way stop, they'll just blow it because they're not paying attention. Because they just see a road, it's going straight, and you're going. But with a roundabout, if you go straight, you're either curbing or you're going to fucking Kerbal space program into the air because you're going to fucking launch off of that thing. So I think roundabouts force drivers to be like, oh shit, my road is ending. I need to pay attention. But yeah, I think like if they replaced every 4-way stop with a roundabout, I feel like we'd have more problems. But I mean, stats are stats, right?
It gets bad.
Where did this come from?
This is Howie when every time someone goes AFK, he talks about traffic. It's disgusting.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. He's continuing the meme. Okay.
That's bad.
It's the go-to.
I'm always a little, I'm scared and hopeful that I will come back from a bathroom break during the podcast and the guest will just have left it in silence for 2-3 minutes and just not fucking say it. And I would have no idea because I don't always listen to the entire podcast over again. So I would never know. So it's, you know, future guests, if you guys ever feel like doing that, you kind of have my word, but at the same time, I'll probably be a little mad, like just a little bit, but at the same time, it's really funny. So I can't really say anything.
What if they like came on your podcast the entire time, like you were asking them questions and they were just giving like 2-word answers? Like, hey, what's your opinion on coffee? And they're like, I don't care. Or, I like it.
First of all,
they just sat there.
That's happened. That has happened. Where I feel like I've tried my hardest to just reel a conversation out of somebody. I've had a couple people that come on and while I'm talking, I see them looking and responding to things in chat. It'll be like a 1v1 and they'll sit there and they'll like, I'll see them laugh at things that they're reading in chat while I'm talking to them. And then I'll be like, you know what I'm saying? And they'll go, yeah, totally.
Jimmy.
Jimmy is strategic with his. He only responds to chat when he knows the conversation doesn't involve him. But no, this has happened a few times with 1v1 guests. And in my mind, I'm saying to myself, just fucking hit the stop streaming button. Like that's how frustrated I get. But I would say 90% of guests are usually pretty responsible.
What's the biggest thing that grinds your gears when it comes to a 1v1? Would you say that's it, when people are just not paying attention, or they just don't care to be there?
I would say the most frustration comes from everything that happens before the podcast, like the communication. I'll send somebody a document that says, hey, add me as a friend on Discord so that we can voice call. Here's a link to the script. And then I need you to also join the Discord server so you can join this channel. And then it'll be like 8:55 and I'll send them a message like, hey, where you at? And they'll say, where do I go? Like, what are we using to talk? I'm like, oh my God, it's like
fucking boomer.
I'm at the store.
And unfortunately, Howie, you're going to grill me for this. It isn't a Google Doc, but it's literally like, hey, thanks for accepting the invite to be on a podcast. add me as a friend on Discord. Here's my username. Join my Discord server for the group chats. Here's the link to it.
God, it sounds like self-promotion to me, dude. I'm just gonna ignore that.
You have to follow me on Twitter too.
You gotta fucking pay the piper if you want to be on this boomer show, okay? I'm actually millennial, but no, I would. Yeah, that's definitely probably the most frustrating thing that happens on show is when somebody's on there and I don't know if they don't realize that they aren't great at having a conversation, or they get on and then they're just like, oh, I'm not really feeling this. And then they just kind of like go through questions. But it honestly hasn't happened that much. But the few times that I have experienced it, it's so prominent. Like it stands out so much to me. Like I can tell when you're not paying attention to what I'm saying. Because whenever somebody reads chat, their face goes like this. It's so obvious.
Fuck.
I feel like low-key Knackers is like watching me do that right now, and he's like, yeah, so I hate when people do this. And like, you know, that thing that like, you know, it looks a lot like what you're doing. I'm not calling you out, but like what you're doing is really similar to this thing that
But like I said, if I'm addressing Howie and Howie is responding to something that I'm asking and it has no involvement of you as a person for those 30 seconds, I don't care if people look at chat. When in the group setting, it doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah. The 1v1.
When you're the person that I'm talking to and I'm talking to you and you're not listening and I see you like responding to chat, it's so obvious that you're not paying attention.
And then what sucks about that too is like when you invite someone on, you want them to have this level of like, hey, I'm responsible for, if it's a 1v1, 50% of the dialogue that happens. But like some people don't perceive it that way. And they're like, oh, I'm just on here. You take the reins 100%. It's all up to you to interact with me, ask me things. Like it's like a one-way conversation you have with someone where you're like, how are you? And they're like, I'm good.
Good, bro.
What are you doing? I'm eating. I'm trying to have a conversation with you right now, but like apparently this isn't gonna be what we're doing. It's like that, but live in video form where people get to watch you look like a fucking idiot when that person treats you that way. Because I know that feeling, and it's only happened one time on our podcast. It was one time, and I remember it, and I won't say who it was, but I was just like, there was a small portion of their segment where I was like, I might just walk away right now because I'm gonna be really rude or like try to be like low-key snarky, and because it's bothering me. And I don't know how else to address it right now live, like streaming it. Like
I
know that feeling.
I've definitely had that where I'm like, how do I tell this person they're not listening without like, because you know you would get clipped, posted on live stream fails and be like, podcast host destroys guest.
Well, I would. So like
oh man,
yeah, I know that feeling.
Yeah, it can be rough. And like I said before, it hasn't happened much, but it's super odd when you have somebody that like they say they're super excited to be on the podcast and then you get on, and I'm always, whenever somebody says, hey, what do I need to do to prepare? What do you need from me? I always say absolutely nothing. I'm bringing all the questions. Me inviting you on this podcast is I just want to learn about you. I want to hear about your story. I want to hear about your journey, whether that involves Twitch or not. Like all I'm going to do is you just have to answer my questions. That's it. But some people get asked questions and they just either don't know how to respond, or maybe it's, you know, their first podcast. They don't really know the best way to tell their story. Not everybody is the best storyteller. I always say, like, I always strive to be a Shia LaBeouf of a storyteller, because if you've ever watched him on like late night talk shows, he's one of the best he knows how to tell a story. They're always super riveting. They get you involved, and you know, not everybody's a Shia LaBeouf. Some people are Kevin Spacey, for a lack of
Ooh, okay. Oh,
sorry,
I don't know if that's the best example.
Your mic's muted, Wally. What'd you do?
This fucking guy.
Oh god.
What I was gonna say is no, I agree with you though. Like the storytelling like aspect, especially on talk shows, it's always so funny when celebrities come on and they have like every celebrity when they go on a talk show, bro, they have some elaborate story to tell. They're like, "Oh, you won't believe this." Like, no, no,
I don't.
I don't believe that shit. Every like celebrity that goes on a talk show is like, "Yeah, so I was at this party with fucking Mel Gibson," and it's like, you've told a story on like talk shows for the last 10 years, like, or it's some random thing. Like, do you know who Nathan Fielder is?
No.
He has like a Comedy Central show. It's called Nathan for You.
I don't.
And he like, okay, well, long story short, his show is shitty business marketing ideas that are just so dumb that they work, and it's hilarious. It's one of the best shows I've ever seen. Nathan for You, yeah, 100%. Sorry, plugging that, but it's really comical because there's one episode where he makes up a story and he's actually going on like Jimmy Kimmel, like, because his show got popular on Comedy Central. He's truly actually going on Jimmy Kimmel as himself. But he was like, I'm going to intentionally use the show's money to make some story happen, and I'll tell that story when I go on the show.
Oh my God.
It's this really fucking stupid story, but it's so good because then after he tells the story, he talks about how, like, I needed to have something happen interesting in my life so that when I got here, I could share it.
Nate,
and it's so
I've never heard of this guy before.
Yeah, that show, it's really good. There's a whole episode called Dumb Starbucks where they used parody law to just copy Starbucks but put dumb in front of everything. And it like blew up. It was like this huge, it was like an actual news story. Like, they opened up a Starbucks like for a couple days. They got shut down by the health department for obvious reasons. But under parody law, they could just use dumb Starbucks, and it became like some weird phenomenon.
Holy shit, this is real.
It is real. Yeah, I wouldn't lie to you.
Wow.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good.
So you earlier when you were talking about, I just realized because I still have this tab open. When you were talking about luminosity, I realized that I haven't seen anything regarding Ninja and luminosity in the same sentence in a super, super long time. So I Googled Ninja and went to his Wikipedia, and he has the most unattractive photo that is on his Wikipedia, and I just posted it in chat right now.
He's an unattractive.
It says Ninja at the 2008 Lollapalooza, and it's just like a cell phone flash image of him in the dark.
2018 Lollapalooza.
Yikes. But speaking of,
he looks like me. He's got his lazy eye.
He has those. I noticed that he has the crazy crow's feet when he squints, like I do. Like when I smile, I get these crazy crow's feet in my eyes. But speaking of,
good.
I was going to transition, so you go ahead.
I was just going to say you could tell he's Italian. That's all.
Yeah. You have a mixer in your eyes, boy, all the way back in 2018. Speaking of Ninja, there was a little bit of, and I don't technically like to just grovel within drama, especially drama within the Twitter space. But when there's a definite split in people's opinions and perspectives, I kind of like to dive into them and get the perspectives of people that I respect. So there was this whole thing with Jarvis. Jarvis is a Fortnite YouTuber who uploaded a video of him starting a brand new account and then using aimbot cheats to play. For some reason, thought it was a great idea to upload YouTube videos to his millions of subscribers of him cheating. And he got banned from Fortnite. He got banned. So he can no longer compete. He can no longer play the game under his main account. Obviously, he can still create content with different accounts and then upload it to YouTube, and nobody would really know. But it seemed like everybody was on the same page with this kind of thing. And then a couple weeks later, there was a news article that was posted. It was Dr. Lupo, Ninja, and a couple other guys that were all doing Fortnite squads together. And Ninja was saying that even though he cheated, there's no reason for Fortnite to ruin his career, for him to not be able to play in Fortnite, not be able to compete. And I went through all the transcripts of the stream and trying to find like a little bit more context based on what he was saying. And I went through it all, and I could not draw up any conclusion of why he should be allowed to continue to play, other than one point that somebody brought up that said when people are caught using performance enhancing drugs in professional sports, they are not banned for life. They're only suspended and they're fined and they're allowed to play the game again. Do you guys see that as like a parallel offense?
No. The difference is huge. The difference is, and I'll let obviously Howie touch on this too, but the difference is huge because at this point it's software that you're breaking terms of service with, on top of the fact that it is in its own right a competitive sport. When you play or use this software, it's a competitive sport. There's a league based around that. You're banned from that league. You've also broke the terms of service of the game. You're also literally hacking. Like, that's a whole nother federal offense on its own of any kind for a licensed software or non-licensed software. So it's like you have this like slew of actual crimes that you could consider it, but you're lucky enough that they're just like, hey, you're banned from competing professionally in our sport, that you again committed a laundry list of crimes to do some practical joke or whatever you might have done to cheat. Like, it's more than just, hey, I'm cheating at a sport to be better than anyone else. It's like you are like destroying, you know, other people's property basically at the same time as doing that, at the same time as, you know, breaking terms of services and all these other kind of things. So I don't know. It's definitely a layered thing. What do
you think, Howie?
I'm kind of glad that he got banned, just because it's like, why would you be stupid enough to do that and then post it, especially when you are professional? There is a guy in Siege who does stuff similar where he basically goes, he had a series on his channel where he tried to get banned on Siege. My Siri just popped up. I don't know what that's all about. But anyways, he tried to get banned on Siege. And so he installed like aim hacks, wall hacks. He would post it on YouTube and like tweet it at Ubisoft. He would even go into like Ubisoft support and try to like say like, hey, I'm hacking, please ban me. And they're like, we'll look into it. And they never banned him. But I just don't understand why, if you're a professional, like, why would you go and do that? You have a lot more on the line. So I'm glad he got banned. It just doesn't make any sense why you would do that.
Probably because he was making more from his YouTube content than from any contract he ever signed as a professional player. So
probably,
I mean, most likely, yeah. You can make so much more on YouTube than you can on a contract from an organization or whatever. Especially if you don't win a lot of tournaments and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I asked this question in my Discord to kind of get a feeler for how people in the community felt. Do you think it is inconsiderate to say, how the fuck did you not understand that uploading video content of you knowingly using cheats was going to negatively impact your life and your career?
It's a crime. Like, yeah, they cheated in a sport, but like they also committed the crime of hacking a game that is used by tons of other people at the same time. It's an online service. You know what I mean? Like, that's malicious, like, intent. Like, it's a crime at the end of the day. That's why it's so funny to me, because they're like, oh, you know, he should be banned for life from this game. He tried to break the game for everybody. Like, it wasn't that he just walked in stronger than everybody else, couldn't get shot and killed like in the game or whatever cheat might have taken place. It's the intent that he downloaded software that interacts with another software maliciously. Like, it's a whole nother thing. You know what I mean? That's my perspective.
Is it a crime to use the cheats or to write the cheats?
Both. It's just the same way as malware works. Like, if I spread Trojan viruses, I'm just at fault as much as the person that wrote the Trojan virus that I'm spreading. You know, you're not cut out of the crime just because you didn't invent in a lab, you know, the toxic poison or, you know, whatever, just because you spread it. Like, you're a part of the crime just as much, for sure, if not more.
Bishop, the context of his side of the argument was that because he was a content creator and because his life is different than somebody who is not a content creator, that they should be given a little bit more leeway. He was based sort of kind of, now this is paraphrasing, maybe this is not his intent, but it was received as, because he has millions of subscribers, he should be given a chance because he is different than somebody who is a nobody.
That seems like you're trying to play a card there. Because it's like, what if and nobody did that? I'm sure there are nobodies who do that, and they just don't get caught because it's like they don't have the same audience. But that's so stupid that he tried to play that card.
That's like trying to get out of assault for saying that it's a prank YouTube video.
Right.
Like, it's the same thing. It's like, I fucked with you. I interrupted your day. I broke, the peace or whatever, like whatever those charges are for those really basic things.
Disturbing the peace.
Disturbing the peace or whatever. Like, you do that. And then you're like, oh, like, but it's just content for a video. Like, and it's like, well, no, sorry. That's not how the real world works, but can't do that.
And I don't know. I don't think he's 20, but I don't think he's 16. I think he is somewhere in between like 18 and 19. But even at that point, you should have known. Like, but then again, Logan Paul should have known to not film somebody hanging from a tree. And for some odd reason, whether it was he knew and he did it anyways, or he like legitimately
100%. You 100% knew and did it.
You think so? Okay.
100%.
Okay.
There's no way you're stupid enough to think that. I don't care how stupid you are. There's no way.
Do you think the same with Fortnite? This Fortnite story?
I think he might have seen it that other people didn't get banned. And so he was like, I'm going to do it and see it. Like, he basically tried to test the water and he tried to test the ice. He broke the ice and fell in. And now he's suffering the consequences, which is, hey, buddy, you're banned from the game.
Going back to our original point or our original topic of how fast games change in esports compared to sports, there's a pretty good chance that a new game could come out in 2 years and he could just get really good at it. And like, if you get banned from baseball for using performance enhancing drugs, there's nothing to say that you can't go and play football. They're two very fucking different sports. But if you're good,
anything there is. Sorry to cut you off. I think the only thing there is you might just get like kind of like ostracized, where it's like no one would sign you because you have that reputation behind you of cheating.
Right.
That's the only thing that would keep you from going from game to game or sport to sport.
I don't know. It's a huge promotional opportunity.
Because there are teams in like there are people in like the NFL who they're known to be like dirty players. They're known for something that they did outside the sport. For instance, Antonio Brown now, he's known for just he goes onto a team and he basically just causes turmoil. He was on the Oakland Raiders. They signed him to like a multi-year, multi-million-dollar contract.
Antonio Brown?
Yeah, he was on the team for not even 6 months, and then they cut him, because he was just causing so much like havoc, and now he has this reputation of just going from team to team and being a douche.
I mean, if you're talking about Antonio Brown, then the dude just one of those people that was so talented and was told by so many people he was so talented that he just got so big-headed. Thought he could move any team, thought he could get signed by anybody, thought he could make it.
Well, this kid is like, oh, you're really
but it's different. It's different. Again, you got to think about the fact that, hey, a sport exists based around you. It makes everything sound boring and lame because it's so literal. But it's a sport based around a software you're interfacing with. So like I said, at the end of the day, it's more than just the fact that he's cheating in a sport. He's breaking the law, by doing that. He's
changing the rules for himself.
Well, it's not changing the rules. Like it's literally
changing the game itself. Yeah.
I mean, even if he just hacked the game to change his own name, that's the same amount of crime, but without the fact that he's cheating in the sport. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I guess there's no performance enhancing drugs that guarantees you a Hail Mary touchdown for 89 yards, right? Like,
right.
It just like it improves where these hacks, they guarantee things like headshots.
The game,
right?
They're changing the actual nature, the fabrics of the sport,
right? Like, oh, I'm at 7th down and I'm still encroaching on on the end zone. It's way different. So my perspective was there's no way this kid didn't think, like, you as an 18-year-old should have known that if you were to cheat in your profession, that there will be ramifications. How could you not understand that at that age? But then again, it's like when you're doing content every day and you're recording like everything that you're doing, you're bound to have a slip up. Does that excuse what you do? No, it doesn't. But it's cheating, man. You're cheating in the game that you're getting paid to play.
But again, it's like imagine if you could change the refs' understandings of the game and they call shit based on what you want their brains to think is bad or good. Like you're literally changing the fucking the scripting of the game. Like you're not even giving yourself an advantage. You're just fucking with the software.
They've paid off refs before.
I guess we have.
This is true. And I see chat asking why I said 7th down. The cheat was adding 4 more downs to give you more of a chance to run the ball. Come on, guys. You didn't catch that? I'm disappointed in all of you. And by all of you, I just mean Matt Weenie.
She doesn't know hockey.
Oh my God. Yu-Gi-Oh! That Yu-Gi-Oh! Joke that you made before it went live fucking cracked me up. Yeah, Howie was making fun of Wally's Pikachu on the shelf there. And then when Wally was challenging him, Howie goes, bitch, I know my Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh, man. So
it's my favorite card game.
So you guys are both not on the fence, but you are both on the side of should be permanently banned from Fortnite forever. No redemption.
Mm-hmm. Especially when like he thinks... He's not even remorseful. He's like, I should have a pass on this.
Haven't you seen the screenshots of him crying?
Don't care.
Oh, they're bad.
You can cry for it.
Don't care.
You can make yourself cry.
He's a bad crier.
Bandicate.
Are there good criers out there?
Yeah, absolutely. This is a great question. Who is a good crier?
Who's the best crier you know?
Probably me. I look really cute when I cry, honestly. Like you're like, damn, whatever that man's suffering from, like I just want to hold him.
You know who's not a good crier is Sean Penn. That's the first thing that came to my mind.
Knacker's having like Master and Commander flashbacks, like some random ass movie like The Patriot, Mel Gibson. Like he's a bad crier in that movie, dude.
I'm trying to think of people who did crying really, really good. I think about Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible 3 when he's handcuffed to that chair, and that's all. What the fuck?
Yo, was that a dog?
That's a weird sounding alligator.
It's the Doge yelling at the cat. I'm trying to think of crying scenes. Obviously Dawson's Creek is one of the first one that comes to mind as a bad crier. Daryl from Walking Dead. Terrible crier.
Survive.
Also Tropic Thunder.
Wait, are we talking about Ben Stiller? Or are we talking about
where he's holding his hands, or Captain Lazarus?
You're my brother.
Whatever his name is. He's like spitting on his face.
Gladiator, Russell Crowe, Tropic Thunder, Demi Moore. Shit, Brad Pitt in 7. That's a good cry. That is a good like
Brad Pitt in 7.
Please, yeah, at the end, like what's in the box?
Oh.
That's a good one.
That's a good like whine though. I don't know if that's a cry.
Yeah, that wasn't like a cry. That'd be like him like almost just breaking down.
I refuse to move on from this topic until we actually find until we agree on a good cry. Like a good crying out.
Criers.
Gooder criers. Best crying scenes in porn.
Is that what we're breaking it down to now?
Good Will Hunting. That's a good cry.
See, you're saying movies or persons, and you're like, that's a good cry, but I can't remember these scenes in these movies of the crying.
Matt Damon and Robin Williams when Matt Damon finds out that Robin Williams was also physically abused.
What year did that movie come out?
2010. I don't know. It's 92.
I was 90. Oh, you got to say spoilers for that, Joe. Come on.
The movie's been out for 27 years.
I say it regardless, man.
Bro, it's your fault.
Okay, if you
Wait, spoiler, the Titanic sinks.
Oh my God. Okay, but if you were on the other end of robbing somebody of a classic movie, like if you just spoiled fucking, I don't know, like Interstellar.
That's too bad. Go see it. You've had time. Don't try to tell me I haven't had time. Oh, yeah, bogus, bro.
I accidentally spoiled BioShock Infinite on the podcast. So I think it had been out for 5 to 7 years. I still never got over that.
There's 100% a time period, like almost after like a year. For movies, some people go by like 2 weeks, and then you can start spoiling it.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucked up.
But it's like if you haven't seen a movie from the 90s, dude, I'm spoiling. I don't care. Go. That's your fault. You haven't seen it yet.
It's true though. Honestly, like a spoiler after like a year, I think is totally free game.
I would say a year is for almost everything.
Somebody said Tom Hanks. I'm guessing they are referring to Castaway, which is like one of the best movies of all time.
The better crier.
I don't know, dude. If you think about like Bruce Willis, Armageddon, that when I was a kid, that fucked me up. Maybe it was My Cry that was really good. Maybe I'm thinking.
Oh my God, Sean Penn!
I cried like a little bitch.
Sean Penn in Mystic River got nominated for.
That's the name of his dick.
Shit! God, what a slip! Sean Penn in Mystic River got nominated for one of the best cries ever.
Can I just say that this first picture I see on Google of Sean Penn looks like his face got hit with a shrink ray?
It kind of does.
So small.
Godfather 3, the ending after the shooting, has also been said that was one of the best crying scenes in history. You went with one of the silent cries, and I can't usually get behind those. 50 unwatchable movie crying scenes. Phone booth is the first one.
Fuck, too real.
Shit, man. How can we...
Colin Farrell.
Where are the good fucking cries?
There are no good cries. No one cries well. You're not supposed to. That's like the whole point of it.
I don't know about that. I'm getting teary-eyed just thinking about people crying. 12 best crying movies and scenes in movies. Sad. Oh my God. This is one of those, here's 12 slides, scroll through them and also go through our 900 advertisements while doing it.
Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man,
gotta make money.
Tobey Maguire, oh God. Oh, E.T.
Paul Ben dies.
Pizza time.
I don't know. E.T.'s not even human, dude. Can't really count him. His cry doesn't count.
Yeah, it's an artificial cry. I'm gonna be 100% honest. I don't know half the movies you guys are saying, or half.
Jesus Christ!
I'm too young, and I'm too not into movies.
You're too hip.
I forgot you're like 17.
Yeah, dude. I can still use my knees.
Do you like TV shows?
How does it make you feel? No, I haven't watched TV. I haven't watched TV that's not sports in 6 years, 7 years.
Holy shit, that's more than I.
I see no point to cable. You buy 1,000, you have 1,000 TV shows, and 90% of them are shit. It's just the same stuff, and I'm just like, man, I'm scrolling through here, and I'm just like looking through the trash.
As a non-TV watcher, I don't think that they're trash, but I'm not interested in so many of them. Mainly Game of Thrones, because it's like the worst TV show in the history of TV. Right behind Friends.
The worst?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wait, what?
I haven't seen it. I can't say anything.
I haven't seen it either. I'm more confused.
No. Game of Thrones is a great show. Again, just not for me. Friends, iconic. I was lying. I was sorry. I didn't mean to get you guys so worked up.
Man, I don't know. I don't know if what's worse, you thinking that it's a bad show or lying to us thinking that it's a good show that you've never seen.
I don't know, man. He lied right to our face too.
I watched the first 4 seasons.
Okay, you could speak.
How many seasons are there?
9?
7. I thought it was like 7.
Here's the thing. I've talked about this on the show a couple times. My disdain for Game of Thrones was never the actual content. It was that growing up, the group of friends that I hung out with, all they wanted to do was get high and watch Game of Thrones. And because they were high during episode 1, they had to rewatch episode 1 an hour before episode 2 to get the full recap. So every episode was watched twice. I don't have a great relationship with marijuana growing up. So it's my life. As he hits the e-pen.
This is just a vape, bro. This is my jewel.
Did you just hit Sean's pen, dude?
This is my
Do you guys
jewel,
want to
dude.
see my?
Yes, I do.
Just fat clouds.
What?
It's a joke between
That
like me and
keeps his
Combat.
lung alive.
Yeah.
How is everything with that? Do you still have to? Is there a lot of like?
I still have like problems. Like now, I feel like I still have to catch my breath sometimes, but I don't like. Other than that, I think we're all good.
Good shit. Well, do you guys have anything else you wanted to touch on before we got into the Q&A?
I mean, do you want to talk more about traffic?
Nope. Go to the Q&A.
You know what? I do have one more traffic question. How do you feel about Michigan lefts?
I'm totally fine with them because they keep traffic going, and you can also time all the lights so that you keep traffic going.
Tell me what it is.
Okay, so can I I wish I could pull up paint. So you don't have a turn lane. You have like an extra lane. It's like an avenue, and you have an extra lane that kind of like expands out, and then you turn there. So you don't go in the turn lane if you want to like change directions. It's kind of hard to explain.
I love you, but that was the absolute worst way you could have explained.
I don't know how to explain it.
Here's a better explanation. You need to turn left. You pass the crossroad, and then a lane opens up that you get into, and you do a U-turn to then turn right. So instead of coming up to the light and turning left,
I get it.
Oh, wait a minute.
I get it.
Is it you pass or you go right to go left?
You go pass.
Okay. So yeah, you pass the cross street, do a UE, and then turn right. Those are everywhere in Michigan. I got so confused.
How many times have you seen people? This is just between me and Knackers at this point. Wally, I'm sorry. How many times have you seen people turn the wrong way down those?
A lot. Definitely a lot.
I crack up every single time I see it because most of the time you'll like drive by and it'll be like New York license plate or like California, and it's like you're just not around here.
Yeah.
You're not from.
And you
have no idea what's going on.
You give them the old.
Yeah, like what are you doing?
2 hands in the air.
How do you not know?
What is a Michigan left?
I wish I could draw it for you guys.
I get it.
I'm sure
it's like you literally are you go into a left-hand turn lane, but the turn where you actually need to get into that's on the other side of the street is not parallel with where you come out of that turn. So you have to go with the other oncoming traffic for just a moment before you take a right onto where you're actually trying to turn. I get it.
I'm going to write a Google Doc on this.
200.
It's to keep. I'm pretty sure it was to keep traffic flow better.
Yep.
Because you don't have to constantly stop at every single 4-way. You just time them all. Very nice.
I feel like it's better for overall traffic, but then sometimes I feel like it takes me forever to turn. Sometimes
if they're not timed right, there's a couple spots near me where you change like cities and you'll get stopped every single time you change into the new city. And it's just like, why can't you guys just time these better?
Please,
and that's
God.
when it feels like this sucks.
Alrighty, motherfuckers. Well, that's kind of it for our main topics. Not that we really had any topics. We just kind of see that again. Favorite part of the podcast.
What did we talk about?
Traffic.
Coffee.
Sean's pen.
Fryers. Sean's pen.
We are moving along to the question and answer part of the podcast. So these are the questions that were gathered thanks to the good old bot. And I figured out I've been having a real fucking problem with the bot writing questions to a CSV file. The hack is to open up the CSV in Notepad, and then it gives me every question I need by line item, and then everything's okay. So first question asks, Hellhound asks, Ickles. I don't remember what that means. I think he was saying testicles or icicles, but it just says Ickles. So we're going to move on to the next question from Matt Whitney. What?
I'm disagreeing with that.
You're disagreeing? Okay. I'm sorry you feel that way, Mr. Donut Hole Tim Horton. Fuck. Anyways, Matt Whitney asks, Howie, why isn't your name Howie? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 9 E's in the Howie that she is asking about. And you are saying that there are 10 E's in some places. So
There's
It's because people are taking my ad, dude. Apparently, I'm so important. People have to take my ad in every single place.
are 7 E's taken?
Where?
probably
Everywhere.
I'm gonna assume
Probably.
yes.
It was on Xbox. I assume now I always go to 9, and then if 9 doesn't work, I add.
Okay. By the way, I can't remember the name of this service. There is a website out there where you can put in a username and it pings every single like prominent social media out there and tells you if the username is available or not. So if you guys are thinking about like creating a new account or a rebrand, there's a website where you can say, hey, is this username taken everywhere? And it'll kind of help you decide whether or not to go that route.
The other thing people should consider is like when you Google whatever that name is, you should be what comes up. Otherwise, your name is probably too generic. Sorry.
I would be lying if I said I haven't been thinking about a name change because of people always just
Because of SEO.
yeah. People always just go fucking racist with it. And it kind of drives me insane.
I can understand that.
Very often I go into streams and people don't want to say my name out loud. They'll go, hey,
Think it's
what's
like a
up,
troll thing or
nah? Dude, how's it going? Or they'll just say knack, or they will just say, leave my channel. You are a troll and you're trying to get me to say something that I shouldn't.
Yeah.
Which
Happens with Wally all the time.
wall meets. Which when I got my username, me not being a racist, it was not something that came to my mind. I was like, oh, it's
Are
kind
you
of
saying you're a racist now?
no, I'm
So
saying
when
the
you got-
people who always come to me saying like, oh, your name's
stop.
close to the N-word. They're the racist because only fucking racists put it together that it's close to that. Everybody
That's
else
true.
just goes, oh, balls. Cool, man. Or the Irish go, oh, foreigner. Like normal people. But it's kind of sucks sometimes. I'm like, yeah, it just either means balls. But at the same time, like if I change my name, then me and my girlfriend are no longer like Dick and Balls. We're like Dick and Nick. Oh shit. Changing my name. But yeah, it's kind of an unfortunate thing where I didn't think that way back then. And now it's like I feel like every other time I go into somebody's channel, they're either think I'm trying to get them to say something naughty, or they just don't want to say my name, or there's just like a negative vibe already. Oh well.
Yeah. I can understand that.
Middle Age Stream asks, what is your ideal Thanksgiving meal?
I feel like it's almost too basic though, but I feel like Thanksgiving's the one time where it's totally okay to eat the exact same fucking thing as everybody else. But like, obviously you have turkey, you've got like some fire gravy, you have to have some good bread. It's usually those like Hawaiian rolls. Those are fire. Again, corn, cranberry sauce, obviously some stuffing of some kind. I feel like there's one other thing I'm missing.
Stuffing is one of those things that can either be made homemade or stovetop, like Stofers, and it's still good. Like it's still just stuffing.
Yeah, it's sad to say, but yeah, that is true.
Okay. How about you, Howie?
Turkey, yams.
Oh, sweet potatoes. That's what I meant. That's the one I forgot.
Oh, that's what a
Yeah.
yam is.
I would also
This is-
include potato, just like normal potatoes with like gravy
Mashed
or
potatoes.
butter or whatever. Yeah. We have asparagus with ours, which is really good. Like we put it on the grill, which is like the best way to have it in my opinion. And then stuffing, and I think that's it.
When
And
you
then a mean pumpkin pie or something.
when you have fresh, crisp, lemony asparagus that's been grilled, it really is like
Oh, yeah.
super fucking good, especially with a steak. I've always been told that hollandaise is really good with asparagus, but I've never had a proper hollandaise with asparagus before. So maybe that's something I'm gonna have to do in the future. As I alluded to earlier in the podcast, I grew up a Jehovah's Witness, so I did not have Thanksgiving the first 19 years of my life. We always just had dinner on Thanksgiving. There was no Thanksgiving.
Sad.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Sad.
So only once I moved out did I start to experience Thanksgiving. My favorite parts are dark meat, cranberry sauce. I don't like corn. I don't like mashed potatoes. I'm okay on some. Okay, let me rephrase. Mashed potato texture, I hate. Mashed potato taste, potate. It's pretty good. But I can't put mashed potatoes in my mouth without gagging. It's just, it's fucking disgusting. I'm sorry.
That's disrespectful.
I know it is. And I'm not
talking about like, are you talking about like the instant potatoes, or have you had like real mashed potatoes where it's like you actually mash them and there's like actual parts of like, sometimes the potato doesn't mash fully, so there's like small bits in there.
It's that throat clogging smear. Like, you know how Einstein's calls their cream cheese smear? I feel like it's a fucking potato pap smear in my throat. I can't breathe. I don't like it. But it tastes good because I love poutine, which has gravy. But as far as gravy on potatoes, I like potatoes small, diced, and crispy, like breakfast style, like hash. Mashed potatoes, no. I definitely like cranberry sauce. I feel like if somebody said you can only eat cranberry sauce for the rest of your life, I wouldn't have a problem with it because there's just something that's so good about cranberry sauce and turkey. Stuffing is a go-to. I am a fan of deviled eggs. I'm a fan of Thanksgiving hors d'oeuvres. I like all the tiny little finger foods that come with Thanksgiving. Like, give me some little smokies. Give me some deviled.
Knackers goes to Thanksgiving dinner just for the charcuterie. Like, that's all he's there for.
The
charcuterie. The charcuteries. Meal. I'm not. The charcuterie
and the hors d'oeuvres. But yeah, none of those things are actual like Thanksgiving hors d'oeuvres, but I still like them. I've always had very non-traditional Thanksgivings, just from growing up and stuff. But I would have to say, if I had to pick one favorite food, it is moist, chunky stuffing. Definitely.
The word moist. People hate
it's a good word.
Yeah.
It's a good word.
You know what word I have come to hate recently is congeal. And the only reason I know of this word congeal is because whenever Rebel Ruby is talking about fucking nachos, she uses the word congeal, like the cheese.
Oh, okay, congealed. There's one other word though too. When something curdles.
Curdles.
Like those two words are disgusting.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? Anything that's associated with those two words is vile. Like something curdles. It's all congealed. Like.
Is congealing what happens when snake venom gets to blood? Like when it clumps up like that? Have you guys ever seen that? Where they take they take a vial of blood and then they drip venom into it and it literally turns into a meat sponge?
Yeah, it's thick.
That makes me never want to leave the house ever. Like ever.
Fuck snakes, man. Fuck snakes.
Fuck them.
Fuck tiny little creatures that can kill me. A much larger creature. I don't like that.
Yep. Would you? Yeah. Would you rather just get eaten by like a Cloverfield dinosaur or get like bit by a spider?
Oh, 100%. Like stomp on me, like Bronchosaurus. I don't care. Like I'm not trying to get like nibbled at or like poisoned. I'm not trying to like. And when I'm gonna die, let me die. Like quick. Let's pull the plug.
Coagulate. There is another one.
Coagulate's another disgusting word.
Yeah.
I hate that word.
Alrighty, next question from Middle Age Stream. What is the best pose for social media pictures and why is it squatting?
If you squat, like if you're gonna do like a Slav squat, if your heels are not on the ground, you're gonna hear about it. I learned this the hard way, like the very hard way. Like a friend of mine that is very, very popular on social media took a picture with them. They posted on their account. Hundreds of comments that are like, this man is a traitor to the United States of America. His heels are not on the ground. Like,
so you have to be flat-footed.
The Slav squat, dude. If you don't flat-foot Slav squat, the internet is gonna eviscerate you. And I learned that the hard way.
I feel like that's really uncomfortable because, like,
it's more difficult for sure.
When I go to people's desks to fix their computer, I'm toe squatting because it puts me at the right. Squat. But if I flat foot squat, I'm going below sea level, and I don't like that.
Bro, If you don't do it,
Something might dribble out if you do that, dude.
Exactly. That's poop stance.
bro, it's harder than you think. My profile picture on Twitter was me doing it on like my sink counter in my bathroom.
I do remember
just because
that.
I was like, I'm gonna do this somewhere that it's difficult to do.
I'm gonna show them.
Show them that I could put my heels down. It was something.
Now, Howie, I know that the image that you gave me for social media for the podcast tonight was like a 7-year-old picture. Somehow you had the same exact hoodie 7 years ago.
One?
Yeah.
I think he took that picture today.
No, that's been around.
I took that picture in September.
Bullshit. That was from September.
Yep. You can check my Instagram. It would post on. It's from September.
How many fucking E's on your Instagram?
It's my actual name on Instagram.
Doxed.
I have like family members and stuff like that. I have mostly family that follows me on there. That's why.
Have they been
like
seeing the
it's like a
penises that I've sent you?
Maybe.
Okay, please tell me you've blamed it on like OnlyFans and not actually me. Like the Knackers brand is very pure.
I said that I got hacked and people are just like sending it for jokes, you know.
Smart man.
100%.
Cool. Next question from Hellhound. Is Santa Claus real and where can I bribe an elf to change the naughty list for me?
Did you know that every single time November Santa Claus is forced to kill an elf off?
Your mic.
We heard you.
Your mic was cutting out.
Oh shit! Every single time. Sorry, my internet is just.
That made it the most interesting question, just broken up.
Every single time in November that's Christmas is mentioned, Santa Claus is forced to kill an elf off.
Like when you just say the word Christmas?
Mm-hmm. Every single time you mention it.
Okay.
He has to kill an elf.
The good part about that is that the counter argument that I'm going to provide is that Santa isn't real at all. So,
that's not true.
Saved a lot of lives.
Prove to me he's not real.
Duty.
Do you want kids, Wally?
Do I want kids?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's ask me in like 10 years.
With me. I
don't know what that. Oh, then yeah.
Okay.
That was a lot easier than I thought.
They'll have facial hair, that's for sure.
Fuck it.
Wait, how old are you?
They might not have too much hair on their head though. I'm balding too.
Hey!
It's a reality I live with also. I just make it look decent for now. It'll be gone soon.
How old are you right now?
26.
Okay. Wait, you want to think about having kids at 36?
Not anytime soon. Though.
Okay. Would you?
If I had to
go ahead, Howie.
Say this, my parents are extremely old. My dad was 46 and my mom was 39 when they had me.
A respectable
time. Super old.
That is old. Wow. That's something you don't hear about nowadays. You fucking boomer. You're automatically a boomer because your parents are so old. All right.
You guys are older than me. You're the boomers here. Are you kidding me? Talking about movies I've never even heard of.
When is the starting year for millennials? Is it 90? 89?
Like 80. Like if you're 33 right now, I think that's the cutoff. So whatever that would be, 6 more years than me. It's like 87.
Okay. So yeah, I'm a couple years shy of the boomerism.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Next question from Conbot. What if we kissed in front of Dinky the T-Rex between 10 p.m. and 9 a.m. and one of us is wearing a red hat?
You can wear the hat.
I'm not wearing the hat.
He can wear the hat. Yeah. I'm not wearing it.
What is this in reference to?
Fallout New Vegas.
Spoiler. See, we're talking. I haven't even played the game yet.
Spoilers, dude. You know that game from 2011? You
not even the main quest line.
I was literally just talking to Weenie today about how I wanted to start a Fallout playthrough because I've never beaten 4 and I've never played Fallout New Vegas.
Fallout New Vegas, I have a very strong, like between Twitch, a certain relation to you, and other things. Fallout New Vegas is it's a big part of like the only reason I'm on Twitch.
Wait, how does that relate to me?
Because I watched your brother play it, and it was the first stream I ever watched in my life.
Oh, no shit.
Twitch.
Okay.
It was the first stream I ever clicked on, and I literally was like, I'm going to play this. Like, I didn't understand what you do when you watch a stream. I didn't understand watching video games. So I was like, I'm going to play this game the exact way that this dude plays this game.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
And I would tell him in chat, like, what was going on and shit. Like, dude, this was like 5 years ago. But yeah, like, I would tell him in chat, like, like, yo, in my game, I did the exact same thing as you, but this happened. Like, or I found that shit. And that's what I understood as streaming. Like I didn't get that you just sit and watch and chat. I didn't understand that. So it's like, I'm gonna play along.
Just click on foreheads, dude.
Yeah. Point, click,
Just
delete.
kill 'em, dude.
Like I do.
It's funny because that's the reason you had such a good time in a game. But actually, well, like when I was getting started streaming, I saw how successful he was being playing Fallout games. And I only wanted to play Fallout games because I saw how fast chat was moving when he was.
Yeah.
And so, and then I played it. Chat was fucking dead. And I hated Fallout ever since.
That sounds like me. That sounds like me. I'm like, I have such fond memories of this game. Let me play it on stream. Nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah.
Nobody shares that nostalgia. It's like, okay.
So I killed Fallout 3 that way. I played Fallout 4 a little bit on stream, but because I didn't grow up with Fallout games, I didn't really have like that fond of a connection with it. But because I've never played New Vegas, I'm kind of hoping that because it's been 3 years since I've played Fallout 4, that I can go back to New Vegas, mod the hell out of it, and have a good time with it.
Definitely.
Next question comes from Trumpy. Is Howie's bed available at IKEA?
Like the bed itself?
One of a kind.
Or are you talking about the sheets?
Sheets.
Because this bed right one
yeah, the
time
way he
on.
said.
Where did you get that blankie?
I got it I asked for it for my birthday like 5 years ago. And then I just got it. I don't remember where I got it from.
How thick is it?
I just was like, it's like a summer blanket. It's not very thick at all. I have this blanket, and then I have like another kind of thin blanket, and then I have this huge comforter that I never lay under.
Okay.
I'm just laying on top of it 24/7.
Can you pull off the space blankie so that we can look for stains? Ooh.
No.
Okay.
No, because my bed's unmade. I just pulled this over, so it looks like I made my bed.
All right.
If you make your bed every day,
No, I do not. And this is what is going to spark a chat poll. Chat, put a 0 in chat if you do not make your bed, and put a 1 in chat if you do make your bed. I better see nothing but zeros.
If you make your bed every day, you're a monster.
Wall, you are a fucking liar. You're a liar.
I do.
Every day?
I don't like
What's the
make it
point?
like a hotel makes it, tuck the undersheet in and like all that other shit. But like, I definitely make it look like a normal human, decent bed that I want to get back into. Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I do. Fuck with me.
There was a meme that I saw the other day that was like one of those world's strongest man competitions, and it was a dude pulling a train with a rope, and it was a gif of him like pulling as hard as he's ever pulled in his entire life, pulling this train, and the caption was like trying to pull the tucked covers at any hotel.
Yo, it's too real. It's one of those things where the surface tension is spread across so far that you actually cannot physically pull it hard enough.
I was fucking dying.
Too many points of contact.
Oh my god, just like trying to rip those sheets. Oh man. All right, next question from Paul asks, how many push-ups can you all do in 5 minutes? Okay.
Were we talking about this, Wally?
Who
About
can
a push-up
pull
contest?
Who can do push-ups for 5 minutes?
Well, see, that's the trick question is like, how many push-ups could you do in the period of 5 minutes? So it's like, do I take my time, spread them across 5 minutes? Can I do a lot? Or do I do like as many as I can and then rest and then try to do some more? It's actually a really like high level logical question that I'd really almost rather not get into.
200 IQ.
I would say
probably like 40, 50 maybe.
I would say 50 because I think it takes me about a minute to do 20 push-ups, but that 20th push-up is me trying to lift Earth from gravity.
Atlas walking with the
like you know the face that guy makes in The Princess Bride when he's getting pumped full of water? That's me trying to do like push-up 15 to 20. Next question from Paul. What is worse, hot coffee that is now cold or decaf coffee?
Decaf coffee is great.
I like decaf. Never.
You guys, thank God. You guys are fucking sick.
Decaf coffee is cool if you're like out to dinner and you had some flan and you don't want to be up until 2 o'clock in the morning, so you have some decaf coffee.
Flan,
yeah, to wash it down.
Nobody fucking eats flan.
I actually, I went to Starbucks a couple months back, and I was getting my venti cold brew, and I picked up a bag of coffee, and it turned out to be fucking decaf, and it is still sealed on my shelf, and it's been there for like 2 or 3 months or something like that.
You should put it outside on the sidewalk and see how long it takes for someone to take it.
That's actually a great idea.
How many? No, never mind. Go ahead, continue.
You sure?
Just say it, dude.
You got a
Just
smirk
say
on
it.
your face that
I
I'm
was just
intrigued
saying, how
by.
many times have you guys even ever had decaf coffee?
Like 4 times, and every single time
I've had it a lot.
disgusting.
I've had a lot.
Okay, all right. Just make sure.
Yeah,
because I feel like some people that just never drink it are just like, yeah, of course I would never drink it, but it's like, it's good.
I never choose to drink it. I want coffee because I want caffeine and
That's fair.
that taste, but not that decaf tastes any different, but I don't know, it might.
No, I get what you mean.
Winta asks, is it donut or donut? And she spells donut D-O-U-H.
Hold on.
Nut. Uh-oh.
Howie's
English majors coming out.
Yeah, I have a thing where it's every single word on how to spell it and why you spell it that way.
Can you look up GIF first?
It's GI. It's just GIF. We've already taken a test on that.
Okay, just making sure.
So donut. I'll have to see. I hope it's in here. I feel like I'm killing time. So how's the weather?
It's pretty dope. Michigan's supposed to get a snowstorm tonight. I don't know about you up there in the north.
The north.
Yeah, you're
What are you talking
you're
about?
way north than I am.
No, I'm not.
It's definitely supposed to be dough
not-
nut. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Just before
Yeah,
you look it up.
it's dough. It's donut.
It's dough, like as in like a dough that you would like
It's
make.
not. Yeah,
You are north of me.
I'm barely north of you.
Are you more west?
Yeah,
Don't you live near Conbot?
yeah, but I'm not that north of you. I mean, I think I'm south of Combat a little,
Okay.
maybe.
I need you to PM
But I'm not.
me
I'm
your
not,
address.
I'm not that north. My address. Do you want my social security too?
Yes. And I also want a picture of
Okay.
your dad.
Do you want my mother's maiden name?
No, just dad.
Okay.
I want your
Okay.
dad's maiden name.
Okay. I feel like that's
Almost
never
got you with
answered.
that one. Almost. It almost went over your head.
Wouldn't that just be my last name?
Don't question me, okay? Don't question me, Mr. Donut Hole, Tim Hortons. All right, you have no ground to stand
I'm
up.
going to Timmy Hortons tomorrow, and I'm going to take a video, and I'm going to send it your way.
What did your book say about fucking donuts?
It was like DOUGH.
It was really.
Yeah, not DO.
So was do nuts? Was that invented by our government to lie to us as well? Is that like a?
100%. It's kind of like how they killed all the birds off when Reagan was president, and then they replaced them with surveillance, and now they spy on us, and they work for the bourgeoisie.
This is true.
Bourgeoisie?
Birds are wise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the proletarian bourgeoisie.
Interesting. There was this is totally off topic. I know I'm not even going to ask Howie. Wally, have you ever watched the show Billions?
No.
Okay. There is a scene, this is not a spoiler, where they indulge in the culinary act of artilome, which is a bird that is drowned in wine. It's literally a bird that like gorges itself to death in wine, and then you eat the.
Sounds like some 1% shit.
It is absolutely, because it's illegal. It's actually illegal to eat. Would you guys eat a whole bird that had been?
Is this an invite for?
It might
us
be
to come over
fire.
and eat a bird?
Honestly,
I
if I had some like performance enhancing drugs beforehand, sure, yeah, I could do it.
ortilome. I believe I spelled that right.
Performance.
Ortilcom.
Yeah, performance enhancing. What do you?
I mean, it's just things that would make me hungrier or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I know a path you're going down.
I could definitely do it.
Let's see,
A
eating
wine bird. What a wine bird.
Or-
my belly.
ortolone. It is French. Holy shit, Paul, you were right on time.
Paul's a smart motherfucker.
The customary way of eating ortolone, a delicate songbird, involves the Diner covering his or her head with a large napkin. Tradition dictates that this is to shield from God's eyes the shame of such a decadent and disgraceful act.
I feel like I should have like a glass of wine and spinning in my hand, being, yes, I do sigh.
If somebody ever said, "Hey, you want to go try this ortolone?" I'd probably say yes. Not just because it was illegal, but because it seems awesome. I'm sorry to any vegetarians in the chat, but do vegetarians care about birds that aren't chickens? Like, do they care about pigeons?
Yeah, why wouldn't
Probably.
they?
I'm gonna have to challenge that one day. Like, how do you feel about seagulls? Like, we don't eat them.
You're gonna challenge them?
Chicken of the sky.
All right, next question, second to last from Paul. Is it true that Howie doesn't eat breakfast because he has poor taste?
Yes, that is true.
What? Poor taste? No. I have breakfast food at 2 a.m. all the time.
If I were to invite you over for homemade eggs Benedict, would you be willing to try it? Now, this is a runny yolk kind of deal.
What time? What time?
It could be any time. I've had it at 9 a.m. I've had it at 8 p.m.
I'm not much of a runny yolk guy, but I mean, I guess.
Okay. No. Okay. That's fine. It's fine. No runny yolk. You got it.
It doesn't seem fine, but
running yolk.
It's not.
Honestly. Wally is a running yolk. That's fucked. But I do like running yolks. Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Last question from Middle Age Stream for Wally. Is it true that you inspired the movie Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon because of your social media photos?
It is true that plenty of people were angry with my attempts of crouching. I don't know if that would inspire anything of that scale, though. I can't say. I can't comment, honestly.
Talk about the exact event that would cause me to stop posting on social media forever. Is people getting angry at the way that I am standing and or sitting and or squatting in a photo. Like,
yeah, see, the good thing was that it was on Instagram, so I don't check my Instagram at all. So it was kind of convenient. But yeah, in the first couple hours, I was just reading a few and I was like, God, this is terrible.
This is the worst. Yeah.
And that's how it feels, dude, for people that post anything ever content wise for any amount of like followers. Like when they have huge amounts of followers, it's like they still get hundreds of comments that are just like nitpicking.
Hey, you suck.
I was like, damn. I was like, damn, I don't want this. I don't want this.
Every photo I put on Instagram has been well received. All 6 of them or whatever. Never had any mean comments on that.
I need you to post one more picture of a reflection of yourself from a car
and be like, look at you.
Let's see what happens. Now that we're aware of your fucking wrongdoings.
I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow morning if it's a sunny day.
Chat, I don't encourage
I will take a
bullying.
picture of me in my car's reflection.
We're supposed to get 3 inches of snow tomorrow. So if you actually do that, you do.
I'll do it.
Okay. All right. I'll accept it.
I'll be wearing sunglasses. Same photo. Same hoodie, same everything.
Jesus Christ. Well, anywho's. Well, that is the end of the Q&A, and unfortunately, that is also the end of our podcast tonight. So what we're going to do is go around the room one final time and have everybody kind of spout off their social media. If they have any special events coming up, like taking pictures of themselves outside in the reflection of cars or eating ortolone, hopefully they will announce it here. So, Mr. Wallytreats, start with you, sir.
Yeah.
Wallytreats, can I see your Wally?
Honestly, okay, I'm gonna just ignore both of those things. But yeah, Wallytreats on everything. So anything, anywhere, if you even want to, just Wallytreats. But yeah, there's probably a special event coming up the next week. I might actually stream my one stream of the month. That's a special event for sure. I'll probably post in my Discord a couple times and then delete the messages and then actually not go live and then like pretend like I wasn't gonna go live, and then we'll go live the next day. So yeah, it's a pretty special event.
Your username sounds like a verb when you were like Wallytreats on everything, like Wallytreats on everything, like you leave a treat on everything.
It's just, you know, my calling card is BM every kill you get in COD. You have to click the crouch like 6 times.
Wallytreats on everything. It's like a weird like third person kind of.
It's a prideful thing. It's like I have my username on things I want my username on. So it's like just Wallytreats on everything.
That's a 200 IQ fucking username right there, bud.
And if you Google it too, like on the first couple pages, that's a good thing.
Boom.
Yeah.
Mr. Howie with 9 E's.
I forgot what my Twitter handle was. I think it's just at Howie with 10 E's and an underscore. And then on and then on Twitch, it's just Howie with 9 E's, plain and simple.
Okay.
Super simple to remember how many there are.
Anyways,
just keep guessing.
Yeah,
just
keep putting in E's, man. Easy peasy. Guys, it was awesome having you both on the show. Do you have any plans to do not a podcast anytime soon?
We actually did talk about it like recently-ish. I don't know, like a month or two ago.
Okay.
Which is like really recent for us because like we have such busy schedules. You know, we have to plan things out months in advance sometimes, even if it's just a conversation about when we'd actually plan something.
I'd say years.
I mean, when Wallytreats on everything, when do you have time to do anything else?
It's difficult. It really is. Like my ego fills the room. I can't breathe sometimes, but that's a different story. Yeah, I don't know. It's difficult to plan anything with this guy. Just you've heard him talk for the last 3 hours, so you all should know.
They'll love you.
I'm taking offense to that.
Well, if you guys didn't know, both Wally and Howie had me on their podcast called Not a Podcast. Did you say it was 8 months ago?
Yeah, that was a while ago. Yeah,
Jesus Christ,
it's been a hot minute. We're on a
literally
hiatus.
feels like it was 2 months ago.
I know. Crazy. It's been a super long time. But it was awesome to have both these guys on the show so we could just kind of sit and talk and shoot the shit. It was a really good time. So thank you both for taking the time out of your Sunday to be here.
Yeah, I appreciate you having us on. It's fun.
Anytime.
Dope. All right, guys, we're going to get up and out of here. If you want to stick around to rate another channel, I would greatly appreciate it. We will be back for episode 111 of the Crocs and Hot Pockets podcast next Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we will be talking about Ortolome and how much we are all sinners.
Traffic.
Right. And traffic and weather and all the good stuff. Make sure you click on that link in chat that gives both of these guys social media. Give them a follow, check them out, see what they're about. And until then, we'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much. Goodbye.
Peace.
Say bye, Howie. I sent you my dick. Where's my camera? There it is. Okay. Bye, guys.
Shit.